ESPN, we've talked about their positional rankings. The tight end rankings came out today. Defensive tackles came out yesterday. We've talked a lot about the cornerback position. And I do want to talk about that with Matt Derrick, just get his thoughts on what we have discussed, because trying to get as many people as possible to give their thoughts on it before we get into watching training camp and padded practices and preseason games and then regular season games, to what the opinion is before we get there about these players, and specifically, let's say, a Mansour Delane as the number 6 pick in the draft, historically speaking, of the previous 5 years, and what that means for where the rankings are the next year. So we will bring that up with Matt Derrick and his thoughts on those things, and plenty of other parts of it too, like the tight end rankings where Travis Kelce comes in. The question that I would wonder is if the Chiefs' offseason strategy that I feel like was a big miss, was that a glitch or a feature for what the Chiefs are wanting to do? We'll talk about that with Matt Derrick. Are they too reliant on a couple of guys that are unproven? One that's been on the team and unproven, and another one that is coming in as a rookie and is unproven because he is a rookie. So we'll talk about some of those things. Mick Schaefer coming up at about 12:30 or so. We will get a ZOU's update to the Royals as we are entering into the All-Star break. And next week, Sterling will be missing some days. I'll be missing some days. So the next time we'll all be back in studio together will be 2 weeks from Friday, right? Or 2 weeks from Thursday. Because I'll be back the 23rd. And you'll be back.
I don't know. I just show up. I'm a Gruden grinder.
We'll see. Either way.
No, I don't. I'm here all next week.
Okay, so it would be the 23rd. No, you're here all next week, but I'm gone on Wednesday.
Oh.
So,
okay.
Yeah, I thought you were here I thought you were gone all next week.
No, I'm gone the week after.
We'll get this figured out, Michael.
Michael, some days,
awesome.
Some days you're going to host, and we don't know yet. We're
Actually,
throw it on.
I have told Todd I want Michael to host one of the days that we're both gone.
I think I will be hosting two
days.
of the days.
I said one. I don't want him to hosting two. Todd, I specifically said I want him to
do both. You can do both.
Todd, I said I'd like Michael to host one of the days. I don't think he's ready for two. One, he's going to kill it. I'm just joking,
I said
Michael.
1.5.
I say you host all three.
Give me like an hour a day. It's the zone for an hour.
I will host for 4 days as long as it's 1 hour each of those days, so I can get a 4-hour show in. It's just 1 hour a day. To get
the rest is just bonus coverage.
We
replay old episodes of the zone.
No, it's just the 1 hour repeated 4 times. It's a new audience. You're fine. New audience.
It's the Chiefs' offensive line issue.
Is he still discussing Simmons and Jalen Moore and Esapole? He did that at like 10:30 and 11:30.
Is he going to change his opinion?
And 12:30. It's like at ESPN back in the day when they would record the one at 5 in the morning, Sports Center, and then they would just run it on repeat the next 7 or 8 hours.
Yeah.
And anything that they messed up on would be the same mistakes.
Correct. You know what was horrible? As
What
a
was
kid,
horrible?
when you were sick and you'd watch it and you're like, I already watched this. Please make it new.
That's how, like, honestly, I didn't know, like, to go back to, like, where were you when that happened?
Where were you?
On 9/11, I was in my dorm room, and I was watching, I just had it on ESPN, but it was playing the Sports Centers over and over, just the repeats. And I go in the morning getting ready for class, head to the bathroom, shower. I'm walking back in my sandals, little shower slippers and a towel, and a dude walks by me and goes, "Dude, we're being attacked." And then runs by me, and I was just like,
"Is it you?"
I was like, "Okay, weirdo." I'm like, "Oh my God, like, what is this weird dude?" And then I go into the room, I'm getting dressed, ready to go, and then ESPN breaks in. But it was after the first one had been hit, the second one had been hit, and it was like already, I'm like, "Oh my God," like, I didn't know any of this stuff was going on because they were just showing repeats over and over. So I know at least until 2001, they were showing repeats over and over, because in the Michael, do you remember being in your dorm room in 2001?
I do not remember being in my dorm
Didn't
room.
know. Didn't
Fun
know.
fact, never in a dorm. I lived in the fraternity house.
You're so spoiled. So spoiled. You never experienced dorm life? Michael, did you experience dorm life?
I didn't either.
Oh my God, what are you guys, 5 years old?
No,
I
I
was
in
a
the
transfer
fraternity.
student, so I got to live alone when I
Nerd.
transferred.
I see a nerd because he transferred. That makes every kid these days a nerd.
Yeah.
They're transferring
Well,
high schools.
It would make me a nerd because I didn't get paid to transfer. I paid to transfer.
That's exactly right.
Back in my day, we stayed at one school.
I didn't. I went to 2,
Nerd.
and also a community college. So
Well, I had to
that
take,
was the
I did have to
transfer.
take math at a math class or 2
well, I slowly
at
stepped.
a community college.
Well, see,
'cause
I slowly stepped
stuff.
up my education. I went to Mo West, then I went to Longview Community College, then I went to Northwest Missouri State. So I was stepping up in education. Missouri Western, then a step up to Longview, then a step up to Northwest Missouri State.
I stepped up to do the beer bong.
That's right. Hope everybody got the joke there. We'll
No,
talk
I
with.
got it.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope so,
I
'cause
understood.
it was a rival dig.
Yeah, I know, I get it.
Academic rival dig.
There are rivals.
What about academics? Rivals. That's how the show lines up today, whether you like it or not. Cuts before the show is over as well. 913-912-4810 is the text line. 3 days left for the Kansas City Royals before the All-Star break. Before we have some fun with Royals baseball, and that being the Home Run Derby on Monday night with Jack Caglione competing in said Home Run Derby. So let's start there. Not the Home Run Derby.
Oh, I was excited at first.
Well, yeah, we'll do that on Monday. We'll both be here on. Are we both going to be here on Monday?
Yes.
Okay, cool. We'll do that on Monday. Jacked up. I'll be jacked up all through Monday. I know that, and I hope there are a lot of baseballs that are jacked up when the Home Run Derby takes place. But Ken Rosenthal's piece that he had in The Athletic, we talked a little bit about it yesterday, and discussing Waka and Lugo. And I want to ask the question from the standpoint of, what part of strategy is this? Let's ask it that way. What part of strategy is this? Because JJ has said a couple of times, All-Star break, then reassess. Now, I will give a little bit of grace in the All-Star break is also past the draft. So if you're saying all these trades and everything, I think you can probably be able to multitask. Okay, you can have multiple things. You can be preparing for the draft while also figuring out what the trade market is.
Correct.
Okay, so the draft being tomorrow and on into Sunday, All-Star break starting on Sunday afternoon, night, and on into Monday morning. Those things, draft will be over. You're at the All-Star break. Maybe JJ has just simply been putting it off and hoping that things will happen. But at this point, if you haven't looked in the mirror yet, you're specifically dodging mirrors. If you haven't looked in the mirror yet to assess what is actually happening on your team, how bad you are, 18 games under 500, the third worst record in all of baseball, and you're right there with the Rockies and the Angels. It ain't like there's a gap. Third worst. You've been the worst record in baseball just like a week ago. If you haven't looked in the mirror to really assess what's going on, it means you are avoiding the mirror. And ostrich, sand, head, just, I can't see you, you can't see me. A little kid that's afraid of the boogeyman. I'm just going to close my eyes and put my hands over my eyes. If I can't see you, you can't see me. I can't see you, you can't see me. If I don't actually acknowledge what's going on, then I don't have to actually deal with what's going on. If I don't see that my team is ass, or certainly would say 2 scoops, there are 3 scoops this year, is 3 scoops of ass, then if I don't see that, then I won't be able to, then I don't have to look at the ass. Then I don't have to see that they're ass. Whatever the way you describe it, Sterling.
My ass?
No, just the 2 scoops or 3 scoops.
Oh,
how many
okay.
different scoops you get into of Raisin Bran and how bad the team is this year.
Yeah.
If I
It's a lot of
don't
ass.
see it,
Whole box.
that's right. If I don't see it, then I don't have to acknowledge what's going on. I can keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And then I hope while I'm doing that, some miraculous miracle takes place and they score some crazy 31 runs in 2 games. And it's like, boom, there it is. But then reality hits. Smack back to reality. There goes the
Gravity.
season and the season and Rabbit and the season. But do we think there's actually a legitimate looking in the mirror moment from JJ before August 3rd?
Yeah, I do. I do. I think that some of the comments are for the other teams to an extent of, we're asking for this. We want everything. We'll give you nothing. Okay, fine. We'll take something. Like, I think that's a little bit of what it is, right? Where
Yes.
you're not going to come out and say, we're trading these guys right now. This season's been horrible. We're trading them. And whatever we get, we're going to be happy with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're not going to come out and say that, right? I think this is one of those situations where you just ask for the world. It's still relatively early in the process. We haven't seen a lot of guys get moved yet. If they don't trade Lugo specifically, I'll be livid. Livid. Because some team will still take a chance on him, I'm pretty convinced. And I don't care what you get back. It's the monetary value. It's the contract you're getting out of at this point, which sucks to say because Lugo was so solid for so long until he wasn't.
Baseball teams should take more of a NBA approach.
Correct.
Let's sell the contract so we can then have flexibility. Even if John Sherman, Sterling, to your point, even if JJ went to John Sherman and said, hey, we're going to pick up the rest of the year's salary on Lugo in order to get anything back. But 21.5 is coming off next year, and we'll reallocate that. But we
Yes.
have to pick up the rest of the year's salary this year.
And I think Sherman would be.
Okay, you're going to have to do it anyway.
Yes.
As you like to say, sunk cost anyway.
It is a sunk cost. Walker, I have some sort of waffling to an extent that I could understand. I would almost hope they trade because I think he would bring back a lot, but I also understand specifically if Walker doesn't bring you back as much as you think, I would be okay with keeping him. Lugo, I'm no doubt in my mind, just please trade. Because I do think there's a team that would take a chance on him. It's not like you're selling Jordan Lyles.
Especially if the team says, okay, we don't have to pay a dime for him the rest of this year, and then we can assess in the offseason.
Yes.
And yeah, we might have to pay 21.5, but we can also see what's going on with him.
Yeah.
And maybe he turns things around and 21.5 is affordable and he gets back to being the guy that he was.
And so I think Lugo is the one that I don't know what you get back for him, but it's just the contract. Walker, the reason why I understand is if you don't get a lot back from him, his contract's palatable next year.
Yeah.
And he would be for this team, he would be the 1 or 2 next year. It's not what you want to be, but it's where.
But honestly, like, to that point, I would agree. Only if they are, in their minds, ready to win next year. And they have to be right about this. Soren says it, and he's
Correct.
absolutely right about it as well. You're in the get-it-right business for the Royals. We're in the business of creating conversation and assessing what's happening. They're in the get-it-right business. And so if you keep Michael Wacha because you want to compete next year, then you better be right and you better be competing next year and winning. But to your point, Sterling, and why I would take more, I would trade him. I would want to trade him if I can get something out of him.
I would want to if you get
Yes.
something out. But if you
Right.
don't get the return you're looking for, Walker
Yes.
is the one
Mhm.
I would say I could understand because imagine you said in the offseason you signed a guy with a 3.5 ERA for
Yep.
14 mil.
That was going to be my point, too.
Yes.
Exactly. We're on the same page.
Yeah.
Imagine if you said, hey, you're going to sign somebody for $14 million, and at the All-Star break, he's going to be leading the league in innings pitched, games started, and has a sub-4 ERA, and is leading the league in quality starts, or right there at the top of quality starts, and you're paying him $14 million.
Correct.
You know what? Hell of a deal.
Yes.
Hell of a deal. Okay.
Yes.
So we would all agree that you would be fine with that particular deal. Like, hey, he doesn't strike a lot of guys out. Okay, does he get outs? Is he keeping your team in the game, giving you an opportunity to win? Yeah, okay, great. Then that's probably what the price of doing business is, and it's probably a little bit cheaper maybe. Because this guy's 35 but has a sub-4 ERA and is going to go out there and every 5 days he's going to eat innings, and he is the model of consistency. $14 million? Okay, it sounds like a bargain in Major League Baseball right now. So
Yeah.
I don't think that would be an overpay. So if they don't get something legitimately like in return to where you go, okay, this is like for Freddie Fermin, they got Bergert and Kolek.
Yeah.
Like, that's more than something that's salvageable. Like, those are legit players. Stephen Kolek has been much better than, people could have hoped. Ryan Bergert, it sucks with the, Tommy John surgery, but he looked pretty good before he had that, and hopefully in 2028, he'll be ready to go and can be in the rotation and go, yeah, remember they traded for Amin in 25, but now they got their number 3 starter for 28, 29, and 30, and it took a little bit because he had the Tommy John surgery and had to recover from it and all that, and now he's ready to go. So we'll see what happens with that, and that could be the case with Michael Wacha. You trade for somebody, and it might be somebody that in 2028 or 2029 is helping you, and that's where the real assessment of how close do you think you are from competing next year. Also, how much is the labor issue and the lockout starting in December going to affect next year? Because that may make Seth Lugo more tradable if a team goes, well, we don't think we're going to play much baseball next year. So if you're telling me you're going to pick up the rest of the salary on Seth Lugo this year, and I'm not going to have to pay that 21 next year because we're only going to pay we're going to play like a third of the season. So now I got to pay 7. Okay.
Yeah.
We may be interested then in doing that, because if we miss on him, it costs us whatever we threw your way in $7 million next year if we think there's only going to be a third of a season.
And if that's the case, it makes Wacha more palatable to keep because in fewer games, like
you're
a
talking about
60-game
like
season.
4.8 if you're talking about a third of the season.
Yeah, and you're like, okay, well, that one pitcher now becomes more valuable, fewer games, but yeah, it's a weird situation because if you do get a good return for Wacha, you have to trade him because I do think next year's going to be a struggle again. I don't think it'll be this year's this bad, but you're probably looking at a similar situation to this than you are in 2024.
And you have to read the tea leaves of what's ahead of them. If you think Wacha is this guy again next year, he's got one more year at 35 at least of what he's done the last 2 years with you, or 2.5 years with you so far. If you think he's got one more year in him, then it may not decrease all that much in return if you trade him at next year's deadline, if you have a full season.
Sure.
As opposed to right now, because the teams are essentially getting the same guy. And they're only having to pay, $7 million. Or you could even pick up the entire $7 million, and it would be a rental player that they don't have to rent except for whatever prospects they may throw your way for next year. But if you don't trade Michael Wacha because you're going to compete next year and he's going to be in your rotation and Seth Lugo is going to be in your rotation, and you sit here next year at the All-Star break and Lugo has a 5 ERA and Michael Wacha has a 4.8, you've massively missed the boat.
Correct. Wacha I just feel more comfortable about because of what he does and how he pitches.
Yeah.
And it is that changeup. Lugo, when you have 9 pitches, and Lugo's just an interesting one to begin with. His cliff had no sort of, there was no runway. It just happened. Lugo, it just happened.
I mean, it was like sign the contract and turn into Jordan Lyles.
It was. And Wacha's just,
It's Jordan Lyles, right? That's not the Utah Jazz, Denver Nugget. Who was that guy?
That Trey Lyles?
Trey Lyles. That's there you go. Jordan Lyles. I was getting my Lyles mixed up, Go ahead. Sorry.
No, that guy.
I just wanted to make sure I was getting the name right. I get names right so often. I don't.
I just see Wacha as a guy who will be consistent for another year or two. And you're right with the trade aspect of it, of you could move on from him next year and probably get a similar-ish return. It all just depends on what you bring back, which I know it sounds like a cop-out answer, but I don't have a huge issue if the Royals chose to keep him because the return wasn't what they wanted or thought. Because we mentioned, if you signed this production next year in the offseason, you'd be thrilled. You'd be thrilled. And you need guys, and I'm not saying that they're going to compete next year, but if it is a shortened season, you need these type of guys. These guys are more valuable, almost, right?
Yeah.
So you have Cags, you have Carter, you have Bobby. I don't know what's going to happen after that. You have 3 guys you trust. I don't know. Garcia, I guess you trust. You have 4 guys. Vinny, I don't know if you can trust because Vinny's.
I don't think you can.
I don't think you can.
It sucks, but and he probably hates it more than anybody.
Oh, I agree.
But I shouldn't even say probably. He hates it more than anybody that this is going on, because whether it's unlucky or just body holding up, I can't put Vinny in the list of guys that you are. Hey, these are the guys that are going to go and win you a division in 2027.
So you have 4 guys. you expect probably a little boost from Carter and Cag still progressing in their careers, right? And they've been good this year, really good this year. If it is a shortened season, I like the Royals' chances better.
Mm-hmm.
I do. It's one of those COVID seasons where crazy things happen.
I mean, they played, looking back, I think if memory serves, in 2020, they played relatively well that year. If memory serves, but it doesn't serve well because 2020 was kind of a blur for everybody.
It's more random. The randomness.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's a good point.
So.
No, that's absolutely true.
Yeah. The lockout makes everything more confusing.
No. Nope, 2020, they were 26 and 34.
No,
Never mind.
But Mondesi went off that year, and that's why. You think I'm kidding?
I know he did. I know. It just makes me laugh because it was a shortened season, and we're like, there it is. Oh, man. Out of all years to be a shortened season, the year that Mondesi is going crazy. They only played 60 games.
He played in 59 of them.
It's the only time he's played that high percentage of games in a season, and it was only a 60-game season. So you'd be like, I had a year where I played every game but one. Oh, my God, you played 161 in a season? No, I played 59.
Yeah.
Was it college? Did you play for JCCC? What are you talking about? You played 59 of 60 games and only missed one. Oh, it was in 2020.
Yeah, and so I do think next year, but you're right.
Sense,
it's to get it right business. You have to figure out.
And I've always said that. I was the first one to coin that phrase.
And not Petra. He was second, actually. I think he copied you, I believe.
It's just so annoying how much of the stuff that I say that's...
Well, because you said it first, because
like,
the time slots. Clearly.
That's what it was. Because he's only started saying it since 2019. That's right.
Yeah, obviously.
He went to 2 and said, you know what? I heard Jason say something for me. Let's just start taking credit for everything. You know what I mean? Everything. We'll take a timeout. News out of the NFL. How about this for, I'm in agreement with the NFL on the Brendan Sorsby thing and not having the supplemental draft, right? Because then it's like just easier for them to be out of sight, out of mind. But this story is where I do see where Brendan Sorsby's agent and also coaches have some points that they've been making. Look, you don't gamble on your own team, all right? You don't mow another man's lawn. You know what I mean? You don't do those things unless you're getting paid for it. So Brendan Sorsby committed, quote unquote, the ultimate sin in sports. But to the point of the lawyer and his coaches of saying, we're watching all these other guys that are playing in the NFL that are doing things. Do you see Adam Schefter's tweet from about 15 minutes ago?
No, I didn't.
Former Lions cornerback Terrion Arnold.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's an update to the story on Terrion Arnold. Ready for what's going on in the court case? Oh, wait, sorry, it has nothing to do with it. Took a physical in Houston on Thursday for the Texans.
Yeah.
He's scheduled to visit 2 more teams.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Not surprised.
That is where we get into when Brendan Sorsby's agent is like we're watching not all these guys. We're watching guys in the NFL that the NFL will sort of turn a blind eye to and be like, oh, okay, yeah, he can go there, he can go here, he can go there. He can sign that. Now he'll probably be suspended or imprisoned. Well, so there is a level. It's commit the ultimate sin as it relates to the sport or facing 10 to 20. Like, is he signing a 5-year deal? Yes. With the federal prison. He's signing a 5 to 10-year deal.
This has been my issue with so many.
But there's an opt-out clause every 3 years.
For good behavior.
For good behavior. And if he's rehabilitated.
There are so many situations like this that drive me insane where...
By the way, please, the Chiefs better not be one of those 2 teams that he's planning on visiting next week.
That would signal a lot more than just...
The Texans have the best defense in the NFL, and their secondary is amazing, and they're still bringing him in. They don't need the help there.
I never understand how, if the Lions would have kept him, they are the boogeyman. They are this disaster. How can you keep someone like that on your team? But if he signs somewhere else, well, that team has given him a second chance.
Low risk, low risk, high reward. If he's figured it out and keeps his nose clean, you got a real true playmaker.
I know there's a lot that went
If not, well, you took a chance.
There was a lot that went into the Kareem Hunt situation, clearly. But when he was on the Chiefs still, it was how can you keep him on your team? He signed with the Browns, and the thought was, you know what? I'm glad he's getting a second chance with another team.
Mm-hmm.
He deserves a second chance. And I've always found this to be, and not everyone says that, but that seems to be the predominant conversation is if someone does something horrific with the team, you have to release him. You have to. Because if you don't, you're now protecting this man. But if he signs somewhere else, then that team gets the applause of, well, you know what? It's low risk and he gets a second chance. Doesn't he deserve a second chance? Like, that always drives me insane. I don't get how we come to that as a society.
I think it's because fans like to associate the action with the franchise. So when you remove the franchise, then you take the action out of it.
That's a really
or at
good
least
goal.
Forget it.
Well, and that's the point about like the Texans, because the Texans have held a higher standard in my mind for moving on from Deshaun Watson as quickly as they did when all those things came out. And it's why the Browns, I continue to hope that bad things happen for their organization and franchise moving forward. Now, you don't have to hope for that. They do it on their own. But when they went out and then said, no, we're so desperate for a quarterback, we'll bring in a serial, sexual assaulter.
Allegedly. I think you have to say allegedly.
I think you're fine. I'm not going to say allegedly. We're okay trading all of these things and giving a guaranteed deal to a serial sexual assaulter because we need a quarterback. So it's like, good on you, Texans. Said, you know what? We're getting rid of Deshaun Watson. He's our franchise quarterback, but it's not okay. Now, they also got an unbelievable return in trades. You go and do that, but then it's like, well, no, you don't need the help at corner. You don't need the help in the secondary. Like, if this was an all-pro offensive lineman, like, okay, that makes sense. They need offensive line help. Like, your secondary is as good as it gets already. And then you're bringing them in. I don't know. Two other teams that he'll be visiting next week. And again, man, I really, really, really hope it is not the Chiefs. And if it is, we're going to have some interesting shows if that news comes out about what in the hell is going on with Brett Veach and the front office and what they're dealing with Rashee Rice.
But this time, the Chiefs would be the team giving him a second chance, so everyone has to be happy.
Nope. It would be, of course, the Chiefs do it.
I'm kidding.
Of course,
I'm being facetious.
Chiefs don't care about anything. All they care about is winning. Unlike my franchise that sucks because we care about doing it the right way. You can't do it the right way and win. That's why we don't win.
Arnold is going to take a hometown discount to play with Isaiah Pacheco and the Chiefs.
Is that right?
That's what Facebook's saying.
Oh, Isaiah Pacheco. I thought he was going to take a hometown discount to play with like the Alabama
State Penitentiary,
Alabama Stampede or something. If there's a UFL team in Alabama or something.
The Longest Yard, Part 3.
It's a hometown discount for him playing with the Tallahassee
Rough
Toros.
Riders.
Tallahassee Toros. More Zone next.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. That is an oh-no. That's a no-no. We hate that. I bet on a guy. He goes out in the 60th minute, and now my bet's over. That's stupid. And FanDuel thought the same thing because they had FanDuel Super Sub. This is something they added, and it has been phenomenal for every soccer match that I have been watching. If your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. Fresh legs, fresh opportunity to score. I've been doing this a lot, especially when it comes to goals/assists. I anti-risk taker. This is me being safe. It worked yesterday. I've been doing it with Mbappe, and that was a nice little hit for your boy. He didn't go out, but let's just say hypothetically he would have in the 70th minute. If his substitute came in and scored or had an assist, well, guess what? My bet would have hit. That is extra protection. That is what FanDuel is giving you. This way, you are in it into the final whistle. Obviously, a great game on today. Spain versus Belgium. And so if you want to get in on the action and have a little extra protection, FanDuel Super Sub is for you. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel.
21 plus and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I will continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Jason Anderson with you. Sterling Holmes, Michael Darcy heading up until 2 o'clock. We'll talk with Matt Derrick. Coming up at 11 o'clock, Chiefs Digest 41 is the Mike podcast. We'll get into a lot of different things with Matt Derrick as it relates to the Kansas City Chiefs. A couple of other things with the Royals. One more question when it comes to Wacha and Lugo. And this gets into a little bit of the negotiation we were talking about, or the negotiation tactic we were talking about in the previous segment. When the report is that if the Royals were to trade Wacha and Lugo, the return would need to be, quote, massive. There's two things that come to mind. And I feel like it's got to be one of two things. There might be some nuance here, but I feel like there's nuance involved in one side or the other with the opposite ends of the spectrum here. If teams are calling about the Royals or about Wacha and Lugo, calling the Royals about them to inquire about what the price tag is for a Wacha or Lugo or other players that may be available there, and the Royals are saying, we're not shopping Wacha or Lugo, and if you want to trade for them, the return's going to have to be massive. On one side, that's just playing hardball.
Sure.
To see what people are willing to trade and how coveted those pitchers are on the open market. The other end is they're just that delusional on what they think they have in their quote-unquote assets. Now, there's the spectrum in between. So it can run the entire gambit. It can go from delusional to playing hardball, right? It's probably somewhere in the middle to where, yeah, we're going to ask for this now because we're 3 weeks away still. August 3rd is the trade deadline. So we're 3 weeks or change away from even getting there. So if you want to trade for them now, it's going to have to be massive. And also a little bit of, no, we think these guys are really good, and other teams are going, it's absurd. No, we're not going to pay for a 35-year-old. We're not going to pay for what you want for Lugo. Like, we're willing to give you something, but we're valuing it at this range, and you're looking at these guys, and you're seeing, 2 years ago Seth Lugo. You're seeing 2024 Seth Lugo on that contract, and we're seeing 2026 Seth Lugo with $21 million owed to him next year. So it's probably somewhere in the middle. I hope it's more playing hardball, Sterling. But I actually think if I had to put a right in the middle, and it's like 100% is delusional, 0% is hardball, I'd be on the 51 to 100 side, somewhere in there, that I think it's more delusion of overvaluing their own assets rather than, we're just setting a big price early so we can negotiate down from there.
I think I'm actually opposite. I think this is more hardball. I do. I think that Lugo's for sure gone, and I think Wacha has a good chance of being gone as well. I think they realize what this season is, how far away they are, how many pieces they still need, and maybe I'm giving them too much credit for an organization that has probably not deserved to get the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to give it to them still. I think JJ will understand that, and they'll move him. I do. They tried doing some moves this offseason that didn't work. They fell through, but they tried. They've overvalued a couple guys. Bubic and Reagans are the ones that come to mind, obviously the most clear. I think they realize now. And if they don't, you move on, and Sherman has to move on from JJ. But I think JJ's smart enough. I know it's easy to sit back here and just blame them all and say what a boob and how dumb they are. But end of the day, I think there was a lot of optimism around this team. We had some optimism. I know ZOUs, you had optimism.
Oh, my God, dude. I can't believe one of the things that I said in the ZOUs that I was going through and updating them, and just say I'm the only one. I'll let you know I'm the only one that got that one wrong, and good God, it was embarrassing.
Well, and truthfully, this just popped in my mind because you talk about how they overvalued Bubic, they overvalued Reagans, and I've kind of been in the camp where I don't know what the interest level is going to be in a Seth Lugo just because of the contract. But since JJ gave that contract extension, it might be more advantageous for him to get it off the books.
That's
if he can find a way to offload it, it's like, oh, well, we don't have to talk about it anymore because it's gone.
Yeah, it's an NBA expiring contract. Although it's not an expiring contract, but it's an NBA, you're getting rid of the contract. You're just simply trading the guy to save the money in the next year.
Yeah.
I mean, We see it in the NFL, like, oh, you trade Trip McDuffie, you got a first-round draft pick, a third-rounder, other assets, but you also didn't have to pay him $30 million per year.
Maybe I'm giving too much credit, again, to an organization that probably shouldn't deserve this, but I think they realize where they're at. I do. I think that when we were at the fireworks stand and we heard that conversation from JJ.
Yeah.
I know we were on different sides there, but I viewed that as a man who understood where they were at. Just even his cadence made me believe that he's understood where this team is at. And I think they're going to trade almost all the veterans, Lugo included. And then Waka is the one that I think is interesting. Waka I can see playing hardball and keeping. They're just doing this right now because they have time. You're not going to come out and say, we'll take anything. You're not going to come out and say, yeah, just give us a live arm and we'll move on. So I think he's saying the right things. I know the reports can be behind the scenes, right? And so it's not necessarily always public facing. That's a lot of what's being said to other teams and coming from those sort of sources, if you will. But I'm going to believe that they're moving on.
What percentage do you get as JJ's agent? Yeah. Yeah, it's totally
That
set
would
that
have
up.
been so better if I didn't hit
If
it.
he didn't already, if he
If I
didn't play it
hit
earlier. If he didn't get a little bit too quick. Oh, slow down there, soldier. Take it easy, roller coaster tycoon.
21% Lugo's contract.
Damn it. Can I be his agent? Oh, shoot. I'm just joking. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back, continue rolling. I hope I end up on August 4th being, you know what, Sterling, you were right. They were playing hardball, and
I'll be
Lugo-
right about something, so you can just join me. About maybe not even about this, but about something. Just say, you know what, Sterling, you were right.
No, you know what, Sterling, you were right. I do agree that you get so many things wrong in fact or fiction. You're right about that. Thank you for finally admitting it. You know.
Fiction.
All right, men, if you're out there, Heartland Men's Health is letting you know that if you feel different than you did in your 20s and 30s, then that could be very easily relatable or connected to low testosterone. Guys in their early to mid 30s start losing 2 to 3% of their testosterone production every year. It happens gradually. Before you know it, you don't feel like the same man that you did when you were in your 20s or your 30s. That could be putting on weight the way that you didn't used to. You don't have motivation even to go to the gym. Even when you go to the gym, you don't see the production you used to. Not sleeping as well, decrease in libido. You're sad, depressed. There's brain fog that goes along with it. Those are all things that could be related to low testosterone. But Heartland Men's Health, along with that, is going further with 4 targeted body composition plans featuring GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1, PDA, and more, designed to boost energy, support metabolism, enhance recovery, and accelerate fat loss. And with the low T treatments, combined with the body composition programs, most men notice real improvements: more energy, better focus, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and that libido as well. Just simply go to Heartland Men's Health, schedule a consult. They'll do your lab work with you, have your results within 30 minutes, and then a licensed medical provider will review the results with you, discuss your options, and help you make the decision together with the medical team. Cost of the appointment, it's going to be $99, but that includes medical consult, testosterone, and PSA test. We talk about the importance of that PSA test all the time for men. You get that along with your appointment. And if you sign up for testosterone treatment the day of your appointment, your visit, it's free. You don't pay a dime. That $99, you don't have to worry about that. Heartland Men's Health, successfully treating men in the Kansas City area. 3 locations to serve you: Overland Park, Independence between Blue Springs and Lee Summit, and North Kansas City. Call them today at 844-447-6600. Tell them you heard about it right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. 844-447-6600, or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Wrapping up this hour, we'll talk some Chiefs football. Yes, sir. 2 weeks from today, folks. 14 days. The countdown is on. Let's get it on. Chiefs will be heading to training camp.
Yay.
June 26th. Where were we on June 24th? We were on remote somewhere, right? Oh, we were at
brewery?
We were at the brewery. That's right.
Oh, I love that place.
And that amazing barbecue.
Friction, yeah.
From then to now is the same amount of time from now until they get to St. Joe.
I need to go back there.
It was like yesterday,
Great
right?
beer.
Matt Derrick. So I've updated the Royals ZOUs that we'll get into when Mick joins us. We'll see where the standings are coming up at 1 o'clock. We'll do that with Mick Schaefer. And it's as bad as I thought for
all of us.
No. It's as bad as I thought it would be because I've already talked about saving up money to go ahead and pay off the 2026 Royals ZOUs before the season is even over, because that's how rough I knew I would be. That is as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be in terms of I have to already pay up. So
someone else's ass.
That's where the Brian Windhorst, what does it mean? What does it mean? Little finger wags in the air.
So you're saying someone else's ass too? There's multiple ass.
Yes, a lot of asses. Brian Windhorst, what does it mean?
Hey, buddy.
Uh-huh.
Hey, buddy.
Hi, Matt Derrick. He's with us now. Chiefs Digest 41 is the Mike podcast. Matt Derrick, we'll talk some Chiefs football. You know, we wrapped up our Chiefs ZOUs. Who lost that one?
I don't know.
It was Mick.
Chiefs.
Yeah, I think it was Mick.
It had to be Mick because that was there was one time he brought in barbecue, and I don't know what it was had been for.
2025 Chiefs ZOUs was Sterling.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Oh,
Tried to pull a fast one.
yes.
He had a
2025
sneaky look on his face.
2025 Royals was Sterling. Good God.
I
dude.
paid one of them off. I've not done two
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah. 2024 Royals was Dylan and Mick combined because they actually did well that year. Let's see. Where we go back to? Chiefs 2024 was Sterling.
I've paid off two. I only owe
dude.
one more.
Have you won ever?
I win in life.
He does
Just
that.
not the game.
I really didn't know it was going to be that much Sterling, or I'd have done this earlier. I just
Stop doing me, dude.
I was just randomly going back because I've got all of the files open right now. So I'm like, oh, you know, who won this one? Who won that one? Da, da, da. But yeah, it's as rough as I thought it was going to be for the Royals right now for
A
me,
lot of stew.
but not as rough as I thought it was going to be in terms of I need to already save up money to pay for lunch. But it's as good as I thought it was going to be for one particular person. So we're going to that one coming up at 1 o'clock. Right now, we are talking with Matt Derrick, Chiefs Digest 41 is the Mike podcast. Hello, Matt. How are you?
I am just dandy, Jason. How about yourself?
I am fine. 2 conversations left in studio with us.
I know 14 days until
Yep.
rookies and quarterbacks report.
And in fact, I won't be here next Friday. So this is our final conversation.
penultimate.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is our
But the
final.
final.
This is our final because
the
I
final
won't be in studio next
I'll
Friday.
be here.
Sterling
I
will be here.
be in St. Joe on the 24th.
And the 24th, yes. So then at that point, we'll just
So-
be talking on the phone. We're hanging out while you're in St. Joe. We'll talk about who's challenging you for the first one to the field. Are you going to do that again this year? Are you up? You up to challenge yourself to challenge somebody else?
I mean, since we started it, and I don't remember. I mean, all I remember was that it was Vitaly Gurman.
Vitaly Gurman.
that made me throw down the gauntlet.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to remember if that was 21 or 22.
I thought it was more recent than that. I want to say like 23 or 24.
It was-
like for whatever reason, I thought it was like 2.
I definitely don't think it was
Training camps
24.
ago.
I feel like it was.
So then it had to be 23 because it wasn't that long ago that you were doing that. I think it was 23.
Yeah, I mean, it's only been like maybe 4 seasons or so.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll look it up while we're looking up other
Yeah.
things. But no, I mean, I'm last year wasn't a lot of fun last year
Mm-hmm.
because stupid Harrison Butker had to just rearrange his entire schedule to decide.
Stupid Harrison Butker.
He had to rearrange his entire schedule so that he's like, okay, well, I'm going to make training camp practices just like game days and go through all of that. So it's like a 9:15 start, and the dude's out there at 8:00 before 8:00 for practice.
Yeah, he's so stupid.
I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, I couldn't even get in some days because security wasn't set up to let me in yet. So,
Technicality.
I mean, I got one win against Harrison. I beat the rest of the team soundly. I mean, if we were just going by that, I mean, I came in second.
Who are you nervous about this year beating you?
Oh, I don't know what his plan is. I don't know. I mean,
You haven't asked him yet?
if he's doing the same thing he does last year, I got no chance.
It was 2022.
There you
It
go.
was 2022 with Vitaly
You beat me to
Gurman.
it. There you go.
I had to look up when he was. So he was undrafted free agent with the Chiefs in 2022. So I didn't realize it's been 3 training camps since then. Like I would have guessed, like
2 years.
honestly, 23 was obviously it wasn't that far off. I would have guessed 23 because I know the last couple of years. Last year was Butker. The year before that, you had like overslept a day or something, and you're like, I'm so mad at myself. But I thought it was like the year after you had done this the year before, and you were like, it's so early in this, and I'm already out of the game, and
Yeah.
I'm so mad.
I should have the records that I've kept and
You
everything.
really
like that,
should.
because if I remember, I think Justin Reed was the 24 player champ.
Of course,
But
he
I
was.
I
I
won,
love that, the player champ.
I won 24. I think I won 23 as well.
You
and
did.
I'm not sure that there was anybody that put up a lot of competition that year.
2022, did Gurman win or you? Because it was you and him going back and forth, right?
I think Gurman won.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, good for him though, man. He needed a win in his favor anyway.
Yeah.
You were at least drafted. He was undrafted.
So I've got a couple of wins.
Do the players know that you are challenging them? Did Butker know? Did Gurman know? Did Justin
knew.
Reed know?
Gurman knew, and
Okay.
I ended up doing an interview with him, and he already knew about the challenge and everything like that because
It had made its way back to him.
his friends and that were following
Oh,
him and everything like that.
yes.
Had back from college all knew, so
That's
they had told
great.
him about it and everything.
You know what better way to get some? What better way to
Yeah.
get some publicity though?
I don't think anybody was really paying attention in 23. So because none of the players in 23, there was no one consistently that was first one on the practice field. It was
They
like
were-
almost somebody different every day.
They were riding high from a Super Bowl. They had no chance of going back to another one anyway, so it was all good. 23
And then for
was gonna be a
whatever
waste.
reason, 24, Justin Reed was like the players' champ. I mean, he wasn't the first one out there every day, but probably 95% of the time. So
Three-peat, baby. And
you
contract
never-
year.
Yeah, you know,
Three-peat and contract year.
that might be the key right there. So okay, contract,
Contract year. Who's going to
it
be
gonna
out there?
be?
Who's the contract year this year that we're going to be talking about that's going to be out there playing their butt off? Anybody? Shamari Connor?
That's a good guess.
This is year 4 for Shamari, right?
Yeah, that's his contract year.
Contract year for Shamari Connor.
Felix,
Rasheed
Jalen-
Rice.
year?
Jalen Moore.
Rasheed Rice.
Rasheed Rice. Yeah, well, yeah, but Rasheed is he's the receivers are
Yeah.
always in the tight ends or well, not all the tight ends. Receivers are always the last ones out. Receivers and
Yeah.
running backs. So
Yeah, I'm trying to think of
Divas.
defensive linemen. No.
I mean, we'll see if you know.
No.
Hey, I mean, my sleeper pick, not knowing anything about these guys or anything like this, but obviously, offensive linemen have got a pretty good track record for getting out early and everything. So hey, like an
Yeah.
undrafted guy, Vitaly Gurman, of course, is the patron saint of showing up early.
Khalil Benson.
Offensive lineman, so Khalil Benson would be, I think, a really good potential
Esapole.
pick. Pole potentially, sure.
It is like you said, it's a contract year for Jalen Moore.
Yeah.
And if he wants to get paid in this offseason, he's probably going to need to be the starting right tackle for the Chiefs,
Yeah.
as opposed to being the swing tackle and couldn't beat out Esapole as an undrafted free agent. How much money is he going to make in the open market at that point? Although he's made life-changing money the last 2 years, so good for him in being able to do that.
Rashard Smith if he wants to make the team.
There
It could
you
be,
go.
yeah, that's true. It could be also guys that are battling for a spot just in general on this.
I could see Cyrus Allen being a grinder too.
I could see that. Yeah,
But he's a diva wide receiver, so he's not going to be there.
he's a diva wide. all wide receivers are divas.
Although, does Chad O'Shea make him get out there early?
That's
Is it an EB is back and a Chad O'Shea kicking the butt to a position group that just wasn't good enough last year? And it's you know what, it's like boot camp.
Yeah.
It's a shock to the system that no, we're going to be the first ones out there every day, wide receivers. You're no longer the diva group. We're the hard workers. We're the hand in the mud. We're the getting dirty when it is called upon, and we're doing all the little stuff. And that's how we're going to be this year. So we're first ones out there.
And DeMarco Murray, running backs coach, maybe
Ooh.
another X factor there. We don't know what he's going to want.
Yep.
So
Kenneth Walker seems like an incredibly quiet, hard worker.
yeah.
Just like he's so quiet, and then it's like he's always over there. It's like a
See,
Bobby
that's-
Witt and Alex Gordon is what I would think of Kenneth Walker for some reason.
And sometimes the veterans do set the tone as to far as, which, and some of it I think there's also, probably some meetings and everything like that. I mean,
Yeah.
because a lot of the players do come down in position groups. I mean,
That's true.
offensive line almost all come down in a group.
Yeah.
Defensive line comes down in a group.
So why was Gurman before everybody else?
I mean, I think he was that's just the way he was. He was just like,
So, a quick aside with that. Is it still part of the CBA that the first player that steps on the field, once that does, the clock starts?
yeah, I think it does, and that's kind of the trick to it a little bit too, and everything. I mean, because I think they also do some things in the indoor.
Yeah.
So I think that's when the clock officially
Okay,
starts.
so then Gurman can leave the indoor and head to the outdoor
Yeah.
practice earlier than everybody else because the clock. Because I could
'Cause
imagine Andy Reid being, your ass better not be on that field before this time because we're not starting the clock just so you can get down there and do a couple of wind sprints.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
that
that's,
would not be acceptable.
I think they have a clock where that. And it probably sets with whatever they do in the indoor when that kind of kicks off the clock and everything.
Okay.
Because
That would make
I
sense.
think if I remember correctly, they're not allowed 2-a-days anymore. So they basically just do a walkthrough and a practice. And my understanding, I'm trying to remember, I think my understanding now is they do a walkthrough in the afternoon that's a walkthrough for the next day's practice.
I see.
Normally in season, they do a walkthrough in the morning for that day's practice, and then they practice in the afternoon. But I believe at training camp they do it where they do the walkthrough in the afternoon. But I think they're allowed 5 hours on the field instruction, work time and everything. So yeah, I mean, yeah, you clock it when stretch period starts. And
That
honestly,
makes
when the
sense.
first players start to come down and everything,
There's nobody like an hour before the rest of them.
I mean, Butker was the only one, but hey, you know what? If you start the clock, if you say you're starting the clock at 8:15, because that's when sometimes the first players come on down, and some guy's out there on his own just walking around and kicking grass and everything like that, then maybe you fudge that.
Well, and I think it also might be if there's a bunch of guys indoor and they're going through stretches and stuff,
It
and
counts,
Butker's
yeah.
like, you know what, I don't need to do this. I'm getting out there and starting kicking because, he was working on a new technique. He wasn't going down to a knee anymore as he would swing through.
Yep.
So he had to put in that work, and it didn't ultimately pay off at the beginning of the season, but then later on. So I could see to where indoor stuff is going on, and Butker's going, I don't need to be a part of that. I need to get my work done because I need to be on the field a little bit longer because I got to get this technique down here at training camp and things like that. It'll be interesting to see what happens with that. It's always fun just to hear those and to see who's going to be challenging Matt Derrick and coming down the field. Who's first down that
And
hill?
let's be real. I started it for the most part because I was just trying to make sure I got there on time and
great. Challenge
early
yourself.
every day.
Challenge
Because
yourself.
as listeners to this program may have learned, being on time and early to things is not my strongest suit.
That's fine. It's fine. You get another suit. Throw that suit away. Find yourself a new suit. It's all good. Matt Derrick is our guest. Do you go through the exercise of the pre-training camp arrival of a 53-man roster before they get there to training camp? Do you go through that exercise every week? I may have talked to you about this before, but it's been a year, so I can never remember. Do you go through that? And if you do, have you already released it? Are you going to release it over the next couple of weeks?
I will be releasing it
Okay.
soon. So yes, I've been working on mine, and I've got there's some things that are going to be coming up at Chiefs Digest I'm pretty excited about, but not really able to talk about them quite yet. But
Talk about it.
So what are those?
can't tell you, but in 10 days you will find out. So
That's the 20th, Sterling.
that is.
Oh,
It's a week from Monday.
shoot.
There you go.
We'll both
Well, I want
be
to
out
talk
that
about
day.
it Friday.
We'll both be out that day.
Why do you hate us?
Yeah.
I don't hate you.
I'll read about it while I'm in Louisville at a swimming pool.
There you go.
I'll read about it
And-
on my phone with sunglasses on.
We're gonna be in Louisville together.
Isn't that crazy? We're both driving that far just to hang out with each other.
That sounds implausible.
Yeah, it's like youth baseball or volleyball.
We'll
you,
plaza, baby.
you play teams in your league, and then you travel to different tournaments, and you end up playing that same team in the bracket. And you're like, oh, hey, this is fun. We came 10 hours to play each other. Yay! We, would go 10 minutes to play each other. Anyway,
Well, if you're in Louisville, you can do the show from there.
I'm gonna take a vacation, so I'm gonna be off. You know what I mean? Just to get. Hey, you know what it is? It's recharging the batteries. I get back the 22nd. So then get back that night. So the 23rd and 24th. So now it's ready to go. Football season. 23rd,
Okay.
day before, boom, 24th they get there, and we're rolling. So it's recharge the batteries, and then it's football season, baby. And then it's no days off. No sleep till Brooklyn.
I mean, as
Or
long
LA.
as long as you're ready for the 24th, that phoner and everything.
Oh,
like
I'll be
that
ready for the
from-
phoner.
from St. Joe's.
I'll be ready for the phoner. So when do you got some cool things coming out, but is it typically that week of that it's like, here's the, because I've talked about it here on the show that I want the three of us, you'll have your own, Matt, but the three of us, that would be me, Sterling, and Michael, to come up with our own pre-training camp 53-man roster. So
Love
we're
it.
on the record of what we think will happen or what our predictions are before we start seeing them go out there. So we can't change our, well, actually, I thought this. I never thought that guy had a chance of making the roster. So we actually go on the record with it. So we'll have that done before the pitchers and catchers report on the 24th, otherwise known as quarterbacks and rookies. But you'll be doing that as well.
And I will do it specially for you.
Oh, wow.
Do this especially for you and everything, because I mean, I think there's a subtle difference between what I think the 53 will look like in week one and for the first 53 versus where it is right now. And
That's interesting. That is a difference.
Where my, when I do like my 53 projections, it's like, okay, well, if the season were to start now,
That's what I would look at it.
and everything. It's like, here's where the roster would be.
That's how I would look at it, too. That's how, if I was putting it together, I would say, all right, the 24th is week one. What's the 53-man roster look like when these 90 guys are showing up?
Because what I think might happen versus where it stands right now are two different things. And I don't think it would make a whole lot of changes, but there might be like 3 or 4 spots where I think I could view those a little bit differently.
Yeah, I thought it would be interesting just to see how the numbers break up, how many offensive linemen, how many defensive ends, safeties, linebackers, things like that, or tight ends, who knows, with that. Which brings us to the conversation around ESPN and Jeremy Fowler and the list that he's putting out. And it's not Jeremy Fowler, it's the execs and coaches and scouts that they all give the 11 different positions and they rank their top 10. And then you add up the scores, and then you see, the most voted for gets the 10. Then you get honorable mentions, then you get the also receiving votes. And Jeremy Fowler was on with Steven in A New Date a couple days ago and said, he's like, well, sometimes you don't get a response from somebody for a particular group. He's like, but then I think he said, I'll reach back out and say, hey, what about this group? Can you at least fill out this one just to remind him so he gets as many as he can for each individual group? But the tight ends came out today. Defensive tackles yesterday. Chris Jones is sitting at number 4. Tight ends today. I'm assuming you've seen this.
I have not seen the list today. So.
Sterling, I'm assuming you've seen this.
I have seen this.
Michael, I'm assuming you've seen the tight end list. Michael hasn't either. All right. So let's go through it then.
It's me versus Michael.
You and Michael. Mano e mano. Matt v. Michael. The M&M brothers, all right? Little man-to-man defense.
He's not even there.
They're playing man-to-man, and we're in the zone right now. You know what I mean? We got all bases covered. We're unlike the Royals defense. We cover all the bases. Number 1.
Number 1 tight end in the NFL?
Number 1 tight end in the NFL. We're going to work from that way. I know Sterling hates that, but well, let me start with a different question. Question. Where do you think? I'll even give you like a 2 or 3 number range. Where do you think Kelsey shows up in the top 10?
My head says one thing, my gut says another.
Well, what are they saying?
Indigestion and
I hate Sterling. That's not what the head would say.
ow.
That's what the gut says. It's weird.
I'm going with my gut here.
Okay.
I am going to say number 3.
Number 3. What is so gut? What is your? I'm going to do head and gut. So that was gut.
Head says 6.
Okay. Head 6. Michael,
I'll say 6.
is that your gut
That's
or
my
your
head
head?
and my gut.
Just copy him. Cool.
Okay. I wrote down MD for Matt Derrick, and then I wrote MD for Michael Darcy.
Perfect. We can't lose, Matt.
Doctor.
That's a wins across the board. Doctor. Doctors.
All right, so Sterling, should we say where he's ranked and then give? All right, now let's go this route.
Let me guess.
Let's do this route. Which tight ends would you have ahead of him? Michael, now you guys can put your heads together.
Yeah.
If you think 3
Man.
or 6, which tight ends you guys can discuss amongst your friends. Which tight ends would you have ahead of Travis Kelce for the ones that did not see this?
And
McBride, Bowers.
Those
Bowers, yeah.
those 2 guys
Bowers,
are.
yeah.
You've got 1 and 2.
Laporta.
You've got somebody that's ranked ahead of him. He's number 4.
I don't want to say Kittle, but I'm
I'm the same way. I don't want to say Kittle either, but I think Kittle.
Kittle is actually number 3.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Is Colson Loveland in that list? Oh, the tight end for Indianapolis. I can't remember the rookie.
Tyler
Warren.
Tyler Warren.
Don't know.
Also ranked ahead of Kelsey.
Where's he at?
Tyler Warren is at number 5.
Okay.
You've named the top 5.
Yeah.
By the way, nice job.
We're great, Darcy. We're great.
So you would
We
think
are.
maybe the next one would be Kelsey.
I
But you're
was
saying
wrong.
no.
No is the correct answer. So who else might be there?
Oh.
You've already said one of the names, Michael.
Loveland. He said Loveland.
Loveland.
You said Loveland.
What about Kyle Pitts?
Kyle Pitts and Loveland.
Dumb.
You've got 7 Loveland, 8 Kyle Pitts.
Wow.
And I've already told you that he's you named the top 5.
Oh, intern Jack Tucker Kraft.
Number 6.
Wow.
So now you've got the top 8.
Darcy's on fire.
So now, top 8. That would be where Kelsey would then come in because we've named the obvious ones, right? If there were guys to be ranked ahead of Patrick or Travis Kelsey,
And he's not even number 9, you're telling me.
he's not number 9.
There's someone who should not be number 9 who's number 9.
Well, then that's going to make it really difficult. 'Cause
I
it
know.
could be almost anybody.
Exactly.
It could be
Yes.
me,
It
for
could be.
crying out
It could be
loud.
anybody else that you would name in the NFL right now ahead of Travis
Somebody's
Kelsey.
Backup. I mean,
So Kelsey's number 10.
It's not going to be like Higbee or somebody ridiculous like that.
It isn't. Higbee didn't even receive votes. You dumbass. No.
wow, harsh.
It is. It's a guy who just signed a 3-year, $40 million extension with his team. They let 2 other tight ends go, and they signed this guy. And many people feel like either of those other 2 tight ends would have been better value than this one. Mark Andrews is number 9, ahead of Travis
the
Kelsey.
big 2026. That's criminal.
Oh,
I'd
my
take
Mark
God.
Andrews.
Britton Strange over Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews, number 9. And I can argue that they should have given the money to either Likely or Kohler over Mark
They
Andrews.
likely should have.
You could even sign Kohler over Mark Andrews, and I'd.
I think you could say they missed the mark.
Yeah, you could say that. I wouldn't say it. You could say that. Britton Strange received votes. So those are the 10. Here are the honorable mentions: Dalton Kincaid, Pat Fryermuth, Cole Kmet, Jake Ferguson, Harold Fannin Jr. I know you're a big fan, Sterling, with the Browns.
You know that.
Also receiving votes: T.J. Hawkinson, Isaiah Likely, Dalton Schultz, Dallas Goedert, Oronde Gadsden, Juwan Johnson, Britton Strange, and Hunter Henry.
I said the Chiefs should have drafted Britton Strange
Mm-hmm.
and Harold Fenton Jr.
You did love.
I would have
you
been
did
cooked.
love Harold Fannin.
Okay,
Jr.
was I just passed on the sleep with Kelsey 10 or not on the list?
He was 10. Sorry.
Okay, he was
Yep,
10.
Kelsey
Okay.
was 10.
Okay.
Kelsey was number 10. He showed up on the list. He was 5 last year. He dropped 5 spots to number 10.
Okay.
Um,
I mean, not that I should be the one, questioning NFL GMs or anything.
and scouts and coaches.
And scouts and coaches and whatnot, but that's insane.
It is insane. I think that's a good way of putting it. Is insane. One NFC personnel evaluator said he's still the ageless wonder at the position. His elite route savvy, body control, and instincts allow him to still compete at a high level despite him getting up in age. That, I would guess, is from somebody that did not vote him 10th if they wrote that about him. Did you know that Travis Kelce's year last year, 76 receptions, 851 yards, is a better combination of those 2 numbers than the second best season Mark Andrews has ever had?
I did not specifically know that, but I would have expected.
Mark
that.
Andrews had a 1,000-yard season in his career. Mark Andrews' second best year of his career was as a 24-year-old, 64 receptions, 852 yards. Kelsey last year, 76 for 851.
I know that
His second best season was comparable to Kelsey's last year when he's fallen off a cliff the last couple of years.
where was Juwan Johnson on the list?
Juwan Johnson was also receiving votes.
So, of the 9 guys that were ahead of Travis on the list, he had more receiving yards last year than 7 of them.
Then 7 of them. Yes. Kyle Pitts burst onto the scene last year, 88 receptions. So
Yeah,
that makes sense.
it makes sense from okay, he finally in his contract year showed up,
showed up.
and the Falcons finally had a quarterback that would actually throw him to football and a few things. But okay,
I have no problem with Bowers and McBride. Those guys
none
are
whatsoever.
phenomenal.
Bowers,
Laporta, no problem. Warren, even no problem.
in the ballpark, absolutely.
I would even say, because I'm a bigger fan of this guy than maybe some others, I think without the ACL tear, we'd be saying Tucker Kraft is 6. Maybe he should be a little bit higher. Excuse me. I like Tucker Kraft. the ACL injury ended what was pacing for, double-digit touchdowns and 1,000 yards receiving and the go-to guy there in Green Bay. We'll see how quickly he gets back from the ACL tear. So I have no problem with Tucker Kraft being ahead of Kelsey. So there are some things here where I'm like, okay, I kind of get it. George Kittle being third is so much reputational. It so continues to be reputational.
No, Kittle is more. I mean, I'm going to use these terms kind of relative. Kittle's more washed than Kelsey is. Kittle's done. He's cooked.
I don't disagree with that. I mean, he's missing games, and
exactly. I mean, he's got no longer has the body.
George Kittle
17-game season.
Yeah, went from 2 to 3. He was 2 last year and 3 this year. Colston Loveland. I mean, I could see that because when Ben Johnson's Travis Kelce has been the son of the offense that it sort of revolves around him, right? Everything about Kelce outside of Mahomes, it's in the gravitational pull with Kelce, how everything is impacted by that. When Ben Johnson did that with Colston Loveland, he then put up ridiculous numbers in the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season last year when he was, 100 yards per game, 12 or 13 targets per game for Colston Loveland. So based on the little glimpse there, it'd be like, okay, so are you going reputation of what you've seen them do, or are you going on potential of what they can do? Because potential of what they can do, all right, that's Colston Loveland. Right. Reputationally, then wouldn't that be Kelce above Kittle? So Kittle, it's how good he is when he's healthy, what he can do. Okay. Well, then we also know how good Kelce is if he's back to being Kelce. Yeah, but he's older okay, great. So is George Kittle. But you know what he can be, right? Okay, so then Kelce over Kittle. Colston Loveland. Well, no, I mean, you got to go with the history. That's why Kittle is up there, what the guy that he is. Well, then why is Colston Loveland up there? So, look, everybody can vote their own way. So I guess there's we talk about MVP yesterday in baseball, how different people view it. And maybe the same thing here as to what, I think Loveland is getting ready to burst onto the scene, so I'm going to rank him here. Or Kittle is just the guy. He's consistent when he plays. I'm going to put him here. I don't think there's any question that I would be shocked if anybody had Brock Bowers or Trey McBride lower than 1 or 2. And in fact, somebody had Brock Bowers ranked 3, and somebody had Trey McBride ranked 5th. So whoever had Trey McBride ranked 5th, I would throw that one out and start over.
Yes.
Yeah.
Somebody thought there are 4 tight ends in the NFL better than Trey McBride. Okay.
I mean, here's the thing. I mean, if Travis
somebody had George Kittle ranked number 1,
there were people who didn't have him listed probably.
Yeah, somebody had. The highest ranking for Kelce was number 5. The lowest ranking was unranked for Kelce. His highest ranking was number 5. George Kittle's highest ranking, somebody ranked George Kittle number 1.
What? Was it George Kittle?
And here's where you definitely get into the asterisk that you put onto all these lists and everything. Because, I mean, and you've probably seen it too. I mean, every once in a while, the NFL or somebody will, put out one of some of the ballots for the top 100 players.
Yeah.
And you'll look at that and you'll be like, okay, well, this particular player voting for this has not watched a game that's not theirs their entire careers.
Yeah, the players' top 100 is...
Yeah, there'll be... I mean, good grief. I think I saw one that had Russell Wilson listed. I mean, it's just comical sometimes. So for people who think that, hey, if you let the players or you let the executives, anybody like this, do better than the fans and their voting, the reality is that they're all terrible. And then you don't know who actually fills them out.
That's true.
Because I know that there are player ballots for the Pro Bowl and for the NFL 100. They're not all filled out by the players. Sometimes sometimes they probably let their kids fill them out, for crying out loud.
I would love to know any coach that fills out the coaches poll in basketball or football, that they fill it out themselves and not the SID.
No, exactly.
Which coach actually takes the time to put a top 25 together of a coaches poll? Besides the SID, this is part of your job, is to do this. So I'm not saying that everybody is doing that as well, but it's just interesting to look at the different ways of viewing it. Colston Loveland, you know what he can be, but he hasn't necessarily done it, so he's ranked a little bit higher. George Kittle, well, it's going off what you know he's been, so he's ranked higher. Well, it's two different ways of examining how you would rank these, and I think Kelsey's ranked low because they view Kelsey in a drop-off against himself and not a drop-off against his peers and what his peers are doing on a year-to-year basis.
Agreed.
And that's why he
Yeah.
goes from last year number 5 to then unranked by some and ending up at number 10 is because Kelsey has fallen off so far from Kelsey. But then he ended up with 76 receptions, 850 yards, and 5 touchdowns last year. And that's with Mahomes missing, the last 3-4 games, and Kelsey having to play with no quarterback.
I think that's a possibility. I think the other possibility is that, he had like 3 or 4 high-profile, really bad, devastating drops.
Yeah.
I mean, there were
The Eagles one still hurts.
I mean, that one cost them a game. I mean,
Yeah.
they had the Jacksonville one. I
The
think
Jacksonville
cost
one
them the
hurts.
game. I mean,
Yeah.
they literally lost maybe at least 2 games, maybe 3, entirely on Travis Kelce drops.
He lost 2.5 wars based on those drops.
and
Right, Sterling? Isn't that how it's done?
Yeah, the 30-year war actually was
Yeah.
lost because of the drop.
The
I mean-
36-year-old war.
And so I could see that there's some people holding him back about him. If anybody's going to bring up the blocking thing, I'd be like, okay, well, there's some of the guys that are certainly on this list that blocking is purely optional.
Yeah,
Trey McBride.
yeah, Kyle Pitts, Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers is a slot receiver in a tight end body. Let's be honest
And
here.
Travis has been dead at times, but
Yeah.
Travis, he's not as bad of a blocker as people sometimes claim that he is. He's not as good as I
Mhm.
think probably Chiefs fans wish that he were. But then again, he's also the best blocker as a tight end on this team, which
Yes.
is also kind of an indictment. So.
Yep. Which I want to get into. Let's talk about that. We need to take a break, and that's a good transition. I want to know if it's a feature or a glitch for the Chiefs' offseason strategy. We've talked about this specific role and position on the Chiefs this year, and we've talked about it with a specific player as well. But maybe that conversation is put aside because of the decisions the Chiefs made in the offseason. We'll ask, is a specific strategy by the Chiefs or decision or lack thereof, is that a feature that they went out and did on purpose, or was it a glitch and circumstance? More Zone next. I will continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Jason Anderson with you. Sterling Holmes, Michael Darcy. Talking some Kansas City Chiefs 2 weeks from now. The quarterbacks and rookies will be reporting to training camp. I asked if it's a feature, bug, glitch, whatever we want to go with. One of the things that I think most people have been surprised by, and certainly I've talked about it, that it is a real surprise that the Chiefs are entering training camp without one particular player on their roster in the tight end room that would be a specific blocking tight end. And so we've discussed it ad nauseum, going into the draft, coming out of the draft, free agency, who we would like to see them sign. Do the Chiefs change their strategy? Last year, maybe they should have gone heavy, but they didn't have the personnel. Well, this year, they're not going to be in a position where they don't have the personnel. All of these things we've talked about. So in 2023, 2021, 22, 23, Andy Reid had blocking tight ends, and especially 2023 that I continue to go back to is when they lost to the Raiders on Christmas Day, and they decided, we can't win the way that we did a year ago. We're not going to have the number one offense. We aren't going to score 38 points in a Super Bowl. If we got to do that, we're toast. We got to change how we play. Well, they had the personnel to keep throwing Blake Bell out there and to be more of a power team. So they went to Buffalo, they went to Baltimore, and they had more of 12, 13, more power, control the ball, play defense, don't turn it over, don't take risks, field goals are okay, and they go to Baltimore and they win. And they beat the 49ers by scoring, 19 points in regulation. And then they finally get a touchdown there in overtime. The NFL has gone more to that because they're countering NFL defenses being lighter and faster. So if they go to that, will that then make defenses say, well, now we have to play our personnel, so we're going to have to keep guys on our roster that are bigger to account for the sixth offensive lineman or the blocking tight end or, this different scheme of running the ball? Is Andy Reid, Eric Bieniemy, are those guys going into the offseason where we said you got to join that group? Or are they going, no, we had that group when people were getting lighter and we took advantage of it. And if people are going back to having somebody specifically on their roster to handle that, then why would we join the group? We can continue to zig while people zag, and not having an inline blocker is actually the strategy and the feature and not a bug or a glitch and just circumstance that they couldn't find the right guy and they really, really wanted it, but it never materialized.
Yeah, it's a great question because I don't know if the Chiefs even truly know what they're trying to do to a degree. Because it's incredibly notable to me and interesting that, yes, we were 6-7 years ago talking about the Chiefs being the team that utilized more tight ends than anybody else
and had a fullback.
I mean, yeah, it was all about. I mean, I know my colleague Herbie Teope wrote the opus about the salute to the 12 personnel and the two tight end system, and I mean, and this was a time also when the Chiefs were even bragging about their T-Rex formation and everything, and whipping out 13 and 14 personnel and everything.
And that's why they didn't draft Ruben Bain, because they don't do the T-Rex formation anymore. That's a joke on his arm length. Go ahead.
But it's fascinating because, I mean, they drafted Jared Wiley, but again, they have not invested anything in this tight end room by and large over the last 13 years. I mean, they drafted Travis Kelce, they drafted James O'Shaughnessy, then they drafted Noah Gray, and then they drafted Jared Wiley. So it's like they drafted tight end every 3 or 4 years and haven't really gotten anything out of it. And honestly, I mean, their most productive tight ends have been undrafted guys. I mean, Demetrius Harris is probably their most productive. And
no, I'd still say Noah Gray.
From a receiving standpoint?
I'd have to look at their numbers. I mean, Demetrius had a couple of good seasons. Gray had a good season too, but it's interesting to me you bring in the fullback into the equation too, because that's been something that since the Chiefs got away from carrying a fullback after Mike Burton. Yeah. I mean, then you had Blake Bell that took over that role, but now you got Noah Gray playing the fullback when they use one, and it's not the same.
Yeah, they went from 2022 having Burton and Bell to 2023 having Bell to 24 and 25 having no fullback or blocking tight end.
And we're just going to set aside even the fact that, over the last 6 years, the Chiefs' best blocking tight end was a converted quarterback. So
The Belldozer, baby.
we'll just set that aside for the moment. But
See, I think their best blocking tight end should be a converted receiving tight end by the name of Jared Wiley. That's what I've, called for. Just turn him into a blocker.
and that we just haven't seen yet.
Yeah,
but
we haven't.
And I don't know. I don't want to place a whole lot on a second year tight end that's bounced around off the bottom of rosters and everything like Mason Pline, and he comes from Furman, but. So if you wanted to say, hey, he is at least he fits the bill. He's a converted basketball player and all of this, and he just went to a small college, so there's room to grow. And if you're banking on that, and you're saying, hey, we're just going to use this guy as a blocker because he's 6'7" and 265, I can buy that. It's just getting him up to that level, and whether he's got the athleticism to keep up with some of the guys that he's going to have to end up blocking against and take on occasionally, we'll see. But no, I mean this team is not really particularly built to, and that's why I think we've talked about this before. I thought last year when all these teams were going and using these multiple personnel sets, it made sense now to me why teams like Buffalo had been going and using 6-man offensive lines so much, rather than in just short yardage situations. That sometimes you were even bringing them into passing situations. I mean, other teams that didn't have those, like the Rams, and having a bunch of tight ends that they trust to go out there on the field and block and occasionally catch a pass and everything. I mean, they were at least putting out an extra offensive lineman. And I honestly thought the Chiefs probably should have done that last year too. I mean, they should have probably gone 6 offensive linemen quarter of the time at least, just if anything, to provide a little bit more protection for Mahomes, but even a little bit more help for the ground game because they couldn't run the football either. I mean, and all of this kind of fits in together. And it does expose to me, which is, I think, one of the potential fatal flaws for this team is, how are they going to handle some of this? I mean, teams who are built and kind of know how to take on the Chiefs' standard 11 personnel set. I mean, we'll see if they can run the football, if it's going to be a little bit different this year. But when the Chiefs, put multiple tight ends out there in the field, put 2-3 tight ends. That second or third tight end, how threatening are they?
Not.
I mean,
Will Dissly, come on down, please. I'm screaming from the rooftops.
Well, I
Will
mean,
Dissly.
and I wonder, like the Pline thing is interesting because, looking at the roster before and after the Wanya Morris trade, they had nobody that fit that body type, and Wanya Morris gone, Pline comes in. Maybe spending the year with the 49ers with Juszczyk and the way and Kittle being a blocker, maybe that, helped him in terms of growing as a blocker. And that's maybe the reason why specifically, hey, we can trade Wanya Morris and open up a spot that we wanted to bring in Pline anyway. He's still out there. So let's move Wanya. We move up and a trade of rounds and then we bring in this guy that could be a blocking tight end that we've been looking for and throw a dart. And if not, okay, we'll cut him anyway because he's been cut from a couple different teams. But the only team he spent a full year with was the 49ers.
And that's going to be the guy. I mean, when they get into the pads for the first time and it's running backs and tight ends, blocking people, it's like the guy I'm going to be focused on the most to see how he does.
Yep, 6'6", 260. Like, okay, let's see. Let's go out there, see what you do. Let's take a timeout. We'll come back, continue rolling more zone next. Well, it is unfortunate that the United States is not in action today at 2 o'clock. It's Belgium and it's Spain. But the world's biggest soccer tournament is in action today, and you can trade every match from the opening stage all the way to the final on Kalshi. And on Kalshi, the beautiful part, as I've explained, is that there's no house. You're trading against peers in a live market. So as the probability of things happening in that game or match, as that changes, then you can buy in and out of your position. Maybe you had France to win in regulation yesterday. That started trading at like 62%. Well, zeros on the board for however long in that match. That thing started dropping at 40 and 35%. And you're like, all France needs is one goal, and they've been playing on the front foot. This is going to be something that happens. So then, okay, well, buy in. Get into that market at 40%. Well, now I'm more than doubling my money. Whereas if I'd have just done that at the beginning of the match, I like to see what the original thoughts are around the games. And then as they go on, how much those things have changed, which then you can get maybe a little bit of an edge. And that's what I've been doing at Kalshi, and certainly you can do the same thing. Spain and Belgium today. Spain a heavy favorite over Belgium. Well, if Belgium comes out there and scores a goal or two, that thing's going to drop. But maybe you still feel like Spain is that much better that they're going to figure it out. Then you can go and get some value there. But also maybe you have Belgium and they score a couple of goals, and that jumps up to like 50%. Double your money, you can then trade out and take the profit. You don't have to wait for the whole thing to be done. It's Kalshi. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app. Use code Jason810 to get $10 when you trade 10. It's Jason810. It's Kalshi, Kalshi. Kalshi, trade the beautiful game.
18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
Wrapping up this hour, we will hang out one more segment with Matt Derrick. Mick Schaefer joins us in the noon hour. Coming up at 1 o'clock, we will get the update where we stand in the Royals ZOUs. On the other side of the break, though, one of the things I wanted to ask, and it sort of goes in line with what we were talking about from personnel standpoint and what the Chiefs may be doing compared to what defenses have been doing and the adjustments that have been made, pendulum swinging one way and another. Last year, Patrick Mahomes left the field, and it was a disaster for this team. If he were to miss a game or two, whether to start the season or sometime in the middle of the season, we discuss if the Chiefs are more equipped to handle Mahomes missing games in 2026, or will it look a lot like the same, offensively at least? Matt Derrick is our guest. Chief Digest 41 is the Mike Podcast. So here's the question that I want to ask, and we can open it up for discussion, because a year ago when Patrick Mahomes left the field, it was just awful football. And they go 0-3. Somehow they stay in the game against the Broncos, losing by, 2 touchdowns and a field goal, whatever it was, to the Titans, and then thankfully losing to the Raiders with that final field goal that went in, and going 0-3. But offensively being as bad as they were, and the offensive touchdown in that time was on a drive that started at the 30-yard line, at the plus 30. You then take it back to in 24 when Mahomes didn't play the last game of the season, and they lost 38-0 to Denver. When Mahomes hasn't been in there, it's been brutal. This is not, Matt Sterling, the Alex Smith teams that Mahomes isn't in there, but they're still a good team, playoff team. It was Mahomes isn't in there, and they are drastically terrible. 38-0 also included a lot of other guys that weren't in there, so a little bit different, but still, it was pretty awful offensively to watch that team against Denver that was in a playoff game, and the Chiefs were punting. But last year, we saw a team without Mahomes and what that offense looked like. Question would be, if Mahomes doesn't start week 1 or 2, or if there's an ankle or something along the way that happens to where it's like, damn, he's going to miss this game or miss that game, are they more equipped to handle those games and survive, quote unquote? You don't have to thrive, but survive like they did when Mahomes missed 2 games with a kneecap and they ended up winning one of those. Are they more equipped with what they've done in the offseason to survive those games? Or do we think it'll look like a lot of the same offensively if it's Fields or Nussmeier in there, the way that it looked like with Oladokun?
My thought right now is that I think it would actually be a little worse, and that's even taking
a little worse this year than Oladokun?
Than last year.
Oof.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I mean, here's part. I mean, and now, granted, I'm with you in that, and I'm probably even more on this in saying that those last 3 games last year were all kind of different games. I mean, all 3 of them, they had situations where it wasn't just Mahomes. They were down other guys too. So that was part of the issue. Then, in that game against Tennessee, I mean, yeah, they were already down when Minshew went down. And remember, I mean, at the time, the Chiefs thought he had a torn ACL. And so then, the guys on the sideline are like, okay, well, yeah, this is what's going on and everything. And now you've spent all week trying to get your backup ready, that you didn't really, spend any time making sure that Chris Oladokun's ready.
Right.
You had to spend every bit of your moment just trying to get, Minshew up to ready to go. So, Oladokun gets thrown out there cold. I mean, and so, yeah, there was a lot of factors. And then, like you said, the Denver game, I mean, they had a really good game plan. They executed well, a lot of young guys, because, again, I mean, they had like 20 guys on IR at the end of the season. So it wasn't just like they were going out there and playing with just a backup quarterback. Problem right now is that, and I would say, when I say no for sure, and just saying that I think they're in a worse shape, I think they're also in worse shape than obviously when they played with like a Chad Henne or Matt Moore, anybody in the past, because I do think that there is still some rough edges with Justin Fields that they've got to work on. I don't know at this point whether they would radically change the offense for Justin Fields if they had to play with him, or just dummy down the Mahomes offense and kind of, muck it up a little bit. Because, I mean, I think the genius of bringing in Justin Fields, I think, obviously, is that he's got some athleticism that you can take advantage of, but you can't run the same playbook that Patrick Mahomes has. So I think you would have to change it. But based on what we saw in OTAs, I mean, 1, he still, I think, has a lot to be able to pick up the playbook. And then 2, there's still some things to fix about his game. I'm not even including Nussmeier in the conversation because I think he's even further away than Justin Fields is. I would agree with that. Right now, if the Chiefs had to play with a backup quarterback, honestly, I would go with Chris Oladokun of the 3.
Even more than Justin Fields?
Even more than Justin Fields. That might not be the case mid-October, November. I mean, maybe you feel more comfortable. And maybe at the end of training camp, we're going to feel more comfortable about Justin Fields. I mean, that is an incubator. You get thrown in and you sink or swim, and we'll know for sure more about Justin Fields in August than we do right now, obviously. But the other thing, too, is that I'm not entirely convinced that this team last year, they could still win games with their defense. They did it, maybe a couple of times last year. I don't know if they can do that right now. That's the thing that worries me.
I think it's crazy. Insane, absurd. You think they'd be in a better spot with Oladokun than Justin Fields. I think that is erroneous on so many accounts.
Erroneous on all.
Erroneous. I'm flabbergasted. I can't even speak. The man was too stunned to speak. Like, Chris Oladokun, bless his heart, using one of your terms. That dude.
We need to get you up to training camp for some Nussmeier work, and you'll from Justin Fields.
I didn't
work,
say,
and you'll be like, okay, I see what you're talking about now.
Dude. I've seen Fields play in an NFL game before and look decent. I ain't ever seen Chris Oladokun play in an NFL game and look decent.
Yeah.
He's had some moments in the
I think,
preseason.
was it the first?
No.
And he almost beat the Broncos.
No,
We are not talking preseason. We are not
in the
doing
first half
this.
against the Broncos. There you go. The first half against the Broncos, or maybe even that opening drive when they ended up getting the touchdown, or not opening drive, but in the second quarter they got the touchdown. They were leading 7-3 at halftime, and I remember at that point I had tweeted out that, hey, he's looked okay in preseason at times. Is maybe the Chiefs' backup quarterback answer, on the field right now. And then as bad as the second half was, I especially love the people after the game was over that came back were like, this is such an absurd thing to say. I'm like, you think he's looked good? Like, first of all, I said he's looked good at times in the preseason. But people wanted to ignore that because they were so quick to react. But nobody said anything at halftime when the Chiefs were leading 7-6. And it was just go out and execute the game plan that Andy Reid wants you to do so you can go and win a game against a good team. But the second half was brutal, was really, really bad in that game. And, Raiders and Titans before that, there was some rough patches of football that was played. I would rather go with, and not having seen Justin Fields in OTAs or anything, I'll take my chances with Justin Fields than Oladokun playing. But what I wonder is, Oladokun didn't have the luxury last year of handing the ball off and being able to sustain a drive that way. And so is it just simply Kenneth Walker and maybe different types of plays in their playbook to maximize the running game? Are they more equipped maybe from that standpoint to survive some games, whereas Patrick Mahomes had to be the running game, had to be the passing game, had to be the coordinator at the line of scrimmage, had to be all of those things, and had to be part of the offensive line, an extension of the offensive line to help extend plays. Oladokun or whoever else would have been in there wasn't granted that particular luxury that they may have now with Kenneth Walker. Or are we putting way too much in the Kenneth Walker basket? Because I would think that they could survive running the ball with Kenneth Walker and this offensive line and a backup quarterback, whereas they were just toast offensively last year because they couldn't run it. Nobody was scared of the run. They weren't scared of the run even with Patrick Mahomes at quarterback, let alone Oladokun or whoever else.
Yeah, and I mean, that's one thing is what I think in the numbers, gosh, I mean, Kenneth Walker, I think, faced one of the heavier 7-man in the box percentages than anybody in the league last year. So he was effective even against loaded boxes. I mean, I think if the Chiefs were having to go out and play a game right now, let's say they're playing in week one, they are going with Justin Fields in week one. I mean, I would assume that you're going to see a defense that's going to have 7 men in the box most of the time. They're just going to be focused on do not let Kenneth Walker beat you.
Yep.
Put this game into the hands of Justin Fields. And right now, I mean, Justin Fields looks like Justin Fields. I mean, at least during OTAs he did. The scouting report on him is that he holds on to the football too long. He hesitates to make decisions. He, if his first receiver is not there and open, the play falls apart. He then holds on to the football until eventually he decides to scramble. His footwork is a little bit of a mess. I mean, so what did we see? We saw a lot of sailed balls during OTAs. We saw a lot of, here's the concerning thing to me, because this is like a cardinal sin in an Andy Reid practice, is holding on to the football too long. Because if you're taking a sack or you're scrambling in an Andy Reid practice, you have wasted a rep, because he wants you to get rid of the football so that you can find out what you can get away with and what your receivers can do. I mean, it is absolutely a waste of everybody's time if you're taking a sack in a practice where nobody can freaking hit you.
Practice?
And
practice?
If the coaches have to blow the play dead because you've held onto the ball so long. I mean, hey, Mahomes did a few of these things, his first year too, and everything, and they drove Andy Reid crazy because he's just like, throw the football and figure out what you can get away with. And that's when we all freaked out about the interceptions and all that. So
the turnover machine.
But now, and so I've become Andy Reid. I am like the I am the holding on to the football too long police at practice. I mean,
I don't see a mustache.
Anytime.
You can shave. It's a full beard.
Man, just because I can't grow a stash like you,
shave it and prove it.
There's a stash, right? Well, I mean, he's
got to shave it.
But if he shaved it, he wouldn't have a
no,
he's got a mustache right
shave
now.
the beard and leave the stash like an adult.
Oh, so you're saying if he shaved the beard, the mustache would just disappear? So you're saying he cannot grow one without the other?
I want to see what he looks like.
It's connected. Okay.
I think with me with a mustache, I'd look even more like a porn star than you do. So, but
fact,
I digress.
Tough to do. It's tough to do.
Fact, I digress.
You know it when you see it.
Tough to do.
I digress.
Tough to do.
Now I completely forgot where I was. No, I mean, Fields has got a lot of work to go. I mean, that's why it's a little bit of a.
You had said you'd become Andy Reid by being the holding on the ball too long police.
I mean, yes, and that's where he's at during a practice. So what's he going to do during a game? I mean, it's going to be the same thing, especially if there's already 7 men in the box. Yeah. I mean,
and you're going up against if it's week 1, you're going up against the Broncos,
and the Broncos are going to eat you alive. I mean, and that's where it comes back to this team. Are they good enough to win some games on defense? I'm not going to have faith in them, first half of this year being able to do that, because this defense has got so much turnover.
Matt Derrick, noted Chiefs hater.
Oladokin lover.
Realist is what I go for.
Were you the +1 for Oladokin? Is the NDA passed to where you can talk about the wedding from last weekend, Matt?
Well, since I wasn't invited, I don't have an NDA.
Oh, I thought maybe
I looked from the photos that I looked from the photos that a lot of guys did not have +1s.
Really?
Some guys didn't have +1s.
Trey Smith had a +1. It was his sister. She caught the bouquet. That's the only reason I know that his sister won.
That was pretty cool. And Drew Tranquill had a +1 because his wife won the.
That's right.
Won the purse.
Yes, the best dressed, right?
Yeah, the $6,400 handbag.
Good night,
yeah.
man. No way Drew Tranquill could have afforded that either. So good for them.
I should say Jackie Tranquill, so, because she's a person of her own right. So
yeah. She does. She's not just Drew Tranquill's wife.
Exactly.
I don't know Trey Smith's sister's name.
I want to say it's Ashley.
Sure, Ashley Smith
works for the Raiders.
Oh, that's right. She does work. That's right. I remember that story. She does work in the NFL.
Yes, she does.
Is it with? Is it community outreach, or is it maybe social media, or it might actually be like the design on the computers and stuff like that. It's one of those. I can come up with a few more departments. Therefore, I just cover the entire.
You pretty much named them all.
Raiders organization.
Yeah,
is it scouting and development? Special teams coach, right?
Ticket sales.
Ticket sales. Oh man, what is it? I can't remember. It's in the marketing department, correct? Yeah, it must be. Oh, HR. She works in the HR department.
She's actually in stadium host.
She's something for the Raiders.
For the Raiders, she could be their quarterback. So
take that, Raiders. That's an on-field joke. Sterling asked this question in our.
So I'm sure it's a terrible question.
Yep.
Why are you being so rude?
Because you went after him and said everything he had said was erroneous and he
Actually,
hates the
it's
Chiefs.
more because you said you hate my beard.
That's
I
probably
didn't
what
say
it is.
hate your beard. I said I would like you with a mustache more.
It came across that way.
That's what I heard.
And
I heard, do you
it
like
was
A
a
or B?
dumb take. Sorry.
Do you like
Oh, it
A
was
or B?
100% accurate.
I
I'm
like-
not taking Oladokin over Fields. There's a reason why they brought in Fields, traded for him, and also a
Also?
reason why they drafted Nussmeier, because they don't trust Oladokin.
Or the
Gosh.
value was there in the 7th round that they couldn't really
Well,
pass
then they
up on.
still wouldn't have traded for Fields.
The question was asked as we look at defensive ends, because this is where when we're going to go through the exercise of putting the 53-man roster together, that
Oh, I hate exercise.
I know you do. It's a mind exercise, so you're fine. Well, you hate that worse. It'll be an audiobook for you. Okay, you can just sit back and go to
Coloring
sleep to
book.
it. Yes, it'll just be a
Those
white.
lines, though.
It'll be white noise that I just want to color outside. I colored the duck blue because I've never seen a blue duck, and I wanted to see it. The defensive ends for the Chiefs that you've got Karlaftis,
Mhm.
you've got Gelati,
Yep.
you've got R. Mason Thomas,
Sure.
and you've got
Felix.
Felix, Ethan Downs.
He'd be next man up for me.
Next man up there. So the question was asked by Sterling when we were going through topic ideas. It may have been yesterday. Either way, was are the Chiefs putting too many eggs in the R. Mason Thomas or FAU basket that those guys are almost going to be, instead of, boy, it'd be nice if they can be good this year, to then, boy, they better be good this year.
It is an interesting question. I will give you that, Sterling.
Well done, Sterling. You finally did it. You finally did it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's putting too many eggs in some of those baskets, because I don't think there's any eggs in the Felix basket. I mean, I think at this point, it's like if they get anything out of FAU, it's found money at this
Well,
point.
is it him or Downs then? Because one of them have to step up based on what the roster looks like right now.
Unless
Yeah.
it's Gelati. Like either Gelati has to take a big step forward.
Well, no, but even so, you need at least 4 guys.
Well, if you're just looking at start, but I get it for sure. But if you're saying, okay, here are your starters, Karlaftis and Gelati, okay, that leaves a lot to be desired for defensive end fear from a quarterback to pass the ball. The defensive interior looks good. Okay, so if Gelati steps up and plays better and more consistent than a year ago, you're still going to need somebody to rush the passer. So then, okay, so you either need Gelati to step up and become more of a pass rushing threat, or R. Mason Thomas and FAU to be pass rushing threats that aren't just the way that Karlaftis or Gelati would rush the passer, because that would be the same flavor of
Yeah.
Gelati.
I mean, I think if anything, I think that you're putting where the eggs are being placed. I think the eggs are being placed in the Karlaftis and Gelati baskets, because I think you are looking at 2 players right now that, as this roster is constituted, that's not the right word. I mispronounced
Constructed
it.
and situated.
Constituted.
Constituted.
is where I was going.
I love it.
Yeah,
Constituted,
I
constituted.
did make up a word there, so
Yes.
I
Well,
have that
for all
going
your
for me.
constituents that are listening.
there you go. It's the early onset dementia
I
setting
love it.
in.
Yeah, it's fine. You'll get there.
But I think it's those 2, because I think at the end of the season, the way this roster's set up right now, we'll talk at a 3rd grade level. Make sure I can get all through my words. You're talking about those guys probably going to be playing 70 to 80% of the snaps. Okay, so who's going to take the other 60% of the snaps, maybe 40% of the snaps at that position? I mean, R. Mason Thomas is probably going to play 20 to 30 on his own. You're probably also, I won't include the Chris Jones kicking outside, but he's going to play a little bit out there,
He'll play a
obviously,
lot.
as well.
He plays way more than
But
people think on the
Then
outside.
obviously, you're thinking about maybe. I mean, honestly, at this point, if you get 70% of the snaps out of Gelati and Karlaftis, and you're putting those guys out there that much, and you're going to play R. Mason Thomas quite a bit, you don't need that much from Felix and Ethan Downs to suddenly get yourself there. And and hey, 4 of those guys may be all that's active on game day, so it's just going to be Felix. Unless somebody beats him out, and if that's Ethan Downs or door number 3, one of the undrafted guys, I'm still under the assumption that until the Chiefs move otherwise, that they're not interested in bringing in anybody that's going to take away snaps from their young guys, because there's just no purpose in it. There's no purpose in bringing in somebody that you're going to play in front of R. Mason Thomas, no purpose in bringing anybody you're going to play in front of Gelati. I mean, and you're not going to play anybody in front of Karlaftis anyway.
No
You're not going
purpose
to
in-
bring anybody that's better than Karlaftis
I
anyway.
would say no purpose in bringing somebody in that's going to be playing ahead of Gelati, or there's nobody out there available that you could bring in that will be playing ahead of Gelati.
That you could afford, and
That you
that
could
might
afford.
even be a better
Yeah.
way to look at it.
Because
That-
I would
that
like
could
for them to bring
absolutely
in
be the
somebody
case.
that could play ahead of Gelati. That would make them a lot better defensively. But can they afford it, and is that guy available?
Yeah, I mean the Chiefs. Let's face it. They have a purpose this year. It's to get better for the future, and bringing in somebody who is going to be your third defensive end doesn't make them better for 27 and 28 and 29. They need R. Mason Thomas to play. I mean, if it's not Felix, they need Ethan Downs and some undrafted free agents to play. They don't need a 8-year veteran to come in that's going to be here for one season and eat up some snaps. And again, if that's the job that you're pitching to somebody, is to say, okay, well, we've got these 3 guys who for sure are going to play in front of you. You're going to be the 4th defensive end. Who's going to take that job? Well, somebody who's probably not as good as the guys you already have. I mean, this isn't going out and getting Melvin Ingram and saying, okay, hey, Melvin, we're a Super Bowl caliber team here. We need you to come in here and just play as much as you can. This would be just bringing somebody in to be a bridge.
But I think where I would add in terms of the eggs in the FAU and R. Mason Thomas basket is you would then, in the situation that we're talking about with Karlaftis and Gelati, you would then be banking on them staying healthy for 16, 17 games.
Yep.
And if one of those guys go down, now you're saying it's got to be R. Mason Thomas, FAU, or Ethan Downs. Or it's Chris Jones playing a game at defensive end in place of them, and then you're going Tonga and Woods or Omar Norman Lott, which you could certainly do. Like that's Chris Jones' versatility helps in that regard, but you are relying on health by those 2 guys up front, and only one of them seems to be somebody that is a close to legit pass rusher that would offer some fear for a certain style, where Gelati seems to be Michael Dana younger version of Michael Dana. And if he's not there, it's pass rushing specialist R. Mason Thomas hasn't seen the field for 2 years, and then last year being injured FAU, and a guy that people may challenge if he's a real person if you said Ethan Downs. And they would say, who? Because you would say, who is the 5th guy? Ethan Downs. And then the response would be, who?
Even better if he was Ethan Horton.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
Horton, here's a who.
And everybody would be like, who? What's going on? I mean, a lot of owls out there because it's who? Ethan Downs. Who? So you've got a lot in the health basket from that standpoint if you don't bring in somebody that could at least offer the competition to FAU or R. Mason Thomas in who the backup defensive end is. Lord help you if George Karlaftis were to go down.
Yeah, I mean,
'Cause then at that point, you're really struggling.
I mean, I'm really of 2 minds on it because I'm with you. On the one hand, I can absolutely see that, hey, the Chiefs, by their actions, not much their words because they've been pretty mum on it, but their actions have shown that they really don't want to bring in any. They obviously, you look at this cap situation, and right now they can't bring in any veterans. I mean,
Yeah.
they're gonna have to steal some money at some point and
Whoa,
restructure.
whoa,
a
whoa,
deal.
whoa, whoa! Chiefsaholic.
They got some experience.
Hey,
in
they're
that.
gonna have to do like a Chiefsaholic there to free up some cap space.
That's fine.
Go to the bank of Trey Smith or Creed Humphrey and free up some money.
God, what if Brett Veach showed up to like their locker or something in a meeting wearing the Chiefsaholic and needed to talk to Trey Smith or Creed Humphrey because they were going to the bank of Trey or Creed to negotiate a contract? That's in my mind how the facilities work, how the office works there. That's how it should work.
That's how it should work.
God, that'd be so awesome.
Unfortunately, I think the only way that it does work is just that the HR shows up with a check and
Yeah, I
says,
know.
"Hey, here's your new roster reconstruction bonus." And
What if it's Brett Veach showing up in the
Chiefsaholic with a
Chiefsaholic with a check? It's the exact opposite. He's giving
I'm
back.
all for it.
It's part of
Exactly.
restitution. He's giving back now to those guys. But going to the bank of Trey Smith or Creed Humphrey, and then you'd have to examine if it's worth it to go to the bank of Trey Smith or Creed Humphrey to then bring somebody in this particular year. And what does that guy do? And does he take reps away from somebody that they feel like, as you talked about, maybe the mission on defense is to get younger and to play more of those guys because 27 might be the goal of getting back to Super Bowl wins this year, is getting back to putting yourself in the playoffs and back near or atop the AFC West again, or reestablishing yourself with the dynasty, and then 27 go and win one. And therefore, you got to let these younger guys play. Just the same thing that when Mike Clay had his projected starters for the Chiefs, and at cornerback, he had L'Jarius Sneed and Mansour Delane starting on the outside. And I would, if it's not injury, then if we're saying it's a youth movement and play the young guys, well, that's not a youth movement and playing the young guys if Sneed's starting over Noel Williams. Like, no, I want Noel Williams out there because you need to get younger and athletic and move forward with the view of 26 on into 27 and 28. This is not a year to where can you go to 5 straight Super Bowls. Keep it together, whatever it takes to go to your 5th straight Super Bowl. This is what's the next group of Chiefs roster look like? What's this defense look like? And what does Patrick Mahomes post ACL look like? And the running back and the running game look like now moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, to a certain degree, it's not incredibly dissimilar to what the Royals did. As far as bringing in some bridge guys, you brought in Waka and you brought in Lugo to bridge your way to the future. Now you can't do what the Royals did and then end up signing your bridge guys.
Yeah,
So, you brought in Kyrie's Tonga to help you get to the next wave, and then you've already drafted Omar Norman Lott, who you're kind of hoping can someday be a Chris Jones type, but maybe not. You've drafted
or at least
Peter
Turk Wharton.
Woods, at least to Turk Wharton. But hey, you'd love if you could be a team where once you transition from Chris Jones to the future, and it's Woods and Omar Norman Lott that's your defensive tackles in 2028. Well, you've done your job. I mean, that's what you're trying to do here. You're not trying to build a team that's like, okay, well, you know what? When he's 31, we're going to sign, Kyrie's Tonga to a second contract and everything. No, that's not what you're trying to do. I mean, you went out in free agency, and this is what, Brett Veach will said from the very, very beginning. His philosophy is that, you use free agency to just fill those spots where you didn't meet expectations in the draft to fill all these things.
Yeah.
It's short-term needs. And there's been times when they've gotten out of that, but this year, Kenneth Walker's probably the only exception to the rule, where they went out and they kind of bought themselves a run game because they had to.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no other option.
Yep.
You could not go to the draft just hoping that, you could get a running back.
And as you saw,
there was really only one running back that anybody would have built a running game around anyway.
Yeah.
So that was just a crapshoot and wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
So.
And the Seahawks let Kenneth Walker go, and then they drafted a running back. But it's also not building around him. It's trying to fill the gap that they lost of a 2-headed running back with Charbonnet coming back from an ACL.
Yep.
It's not the Chiefs going, well, we just need another guy to, team up with this guy. No, they needed a guy. They needed the guy to go and help them out. That's why the money was worth it for Kenneth Walker as opposed to maybe for some other teams. And so, we'll find out 2 weeks from today. It's quarterbacks and rookies that'll be heading to training camp along with Matt Derrick. So our final in-studio conversation, because I'll be out next Friday with myself and Matt, but Sterling will be here with you for the final in-studio conversation.
Sterling and I will fight.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Erroneous, and I'll just call in.
Because you're just going to tell me that I'm awful and my beard looks ugly.
I said your beard looks good, but I want to see you with a mustache, and your take was horrendous that you think Oladokin is a better fit than Justin Fields.
Right now.
He said right now. He said right now if he had to go play, it'd be Oladokin than Justin Fields. I'd still take my chances with Justin Fields.
Yes.
Because I've seen Oladokin.
Ultimately, I think Patrick Mahomes is a better choice. But
you know what?
Can't believe we didn't think of that.
If you put a full cast on his leg, Mahomes, to where he couldn't bend it or anything and he just had to wobble, still a better choice. I would go with him over Oladokin or Fields. I'd go with that guy. Matt, we'll always go with you, man. Appreciate you, brother, as always.
You both are the best.
Yes. Matt Derrick, Chiefs Digest 41 is the mic podcast. We'll take a timeout, come back, continue rolling. Mick Schaefer will hang out with us. We got ZOU updates coming up at 1 o'clock. More Zone next.
Twitter thinks he's funny.
Shame on you nerds.
His wife and kids think he's lame.
No!
We couldn't get Paul, so we're stuck with Mick.
Yep. Okay, still got it going on.
Mick Schaefer on The Zone with Jason Anderson.
Hold your ears, folks. It's showtime.
All right, coming up at 1 o'clock, we will give an update on the ZOUs, where we rank how bad it was or how good it was, depending on which side of the...
Now, which one of us was the most negative?
That is exactly right. That is right. So, yeah, we'll do that coming up at 1 o'clock.
I just taped
Fun.
a segment a show with Les Norman, Breaking the Norm. I was his guest
No
for
kidding.
the whole show. I was like, this is cool. Is this a new program you start up? He's like, no, I've been doing this for 18 years. I'm like, it's taking this long to get me as a... Do you have one episode per year? He's like, no, it's basically every week. I was trying to do 52 times 18 in my head. I can't do it.
Can't do it. Yeah, cannot do it.
2,000, I
Yes.
think, is roughly
That's
the answer.
roughly what it is, yes.
Okay.
What's up?
What's up?
That's weird because
You
I
go to
haven't
the
been on
pool
there.
or
Because I haven't been
I'm
on there.
going straight to the lake.
which
From
lake?
here.
Grand Lake?
No, that's actually next week.
No, the
Lake
lake.
of-
The lake around here is Ozarks.
Ozarks,
If you just say
yes.
the lake, I'm going to
Yes.
the lake. It means
I
Ozarks.
was a different lake last week, Table Rock.
Yeah, Table Rock.
So it's like I'm a travel writer or something like that. I'm just going to all
That's
the
the
lakes
most
around
Midwest
here.
thing, just going to different lakes.
Yeah.
They're just
yeah.
paying
They're all
you.
the same. Everybody's like, oh, Table Rock's so clear. I'm like, it's not like I can see the bottom.
I can see.
I can see
a
my
foot.
hand down maybe to my waist.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Whatever.
I can see a foot down.
And I
Which,
get- you
which
can
in a
see
lake is as clear as it gets.
Yes. Lake of the Ozarks, you can see it maybe 2 inches down underneath.
You actually can't see 2 inches above the
You
water
can't.
in the
It's
Lake
that
of the
bad.
Ozarks.
There's one at
It's that bad.
Decatur, in Illinois, and it is gnarly water. It is
Yeah.
just gross.
Is it a
Great Lake?
Yeah, it's
I was
like
gonna say,
you
are
hop in and you're like,
are you surfing?
I can't. Well, you get in and I was trying to ski, and I'm like, this is the grossest water I've ever been in. Do
Yeah,
not
don't
let it get
fall.
my nose. Yeah,
Yeah, it's usually. I mean, it's obviously the better out, the more out in the middle you get. You know, down by the shore, it gets all muddy and gross and yucky. It's more water. It's spread out in the middle. But the place we're going to today, for whatever reason it is at this dock, the cove where we're staying. The perch there love to nibble at you.
Oh, really?
I hate
They
that.
love to nibble at your turn the bees and nibble around
Uh-huh.
nipples.
Oh, interesting.
They go
Yes,
after, they go after your
yes.
brown parts,
Dude,
Yeah.
we were at yeah, it was Ozarks.
Yes, it happens.
Yeah,
So I don't have a swim shirt, but maybe I need to get one.
we had one of our friends.
Or
Where
just booby tassels.
something like that.
That'll help.
Yes. Oh yeah, I'll
That'll help.
consult my wife.
what are those called?
Yeah. Just go down to the parade route.
Areolas?
No,
Oh my God!
no, that you put on. Man,
I just said what it is.
What are they?
Pasties?
pasties.
The booby tassels.
Thank
It's the
you.
same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a name for it. Yeah, we were
Oh.
there, and
Should I go by
this,
juicers?
This
on the way
one
there?
kept
My bad. I don't use the exact terms like you do, Sterling.
This one.
tassels.
Sorry, we're like on brand here. Kept going after my
Well,
my
I
boy's
think if they're
nipples.
clear, those fish are gonna still go out. I'm not feel. I don't want to feel the fish,
No,
but they'll still get your toes and stuff.
You know, we were on a one of those lily pads, right? You know,
Yeah.
you're hanging the lily pads. It would come up from underneath and just
Yeah.
get his nipples.
There was one time it latched on.
yeah,
Like I was its mother.
I was going to
Did
say it finally latched.
It
been
latched.
working
Like,
on it for a
oh my
while,
God,
like-
this feels so good.
Yes, I mean it's not easy to
how'd
do
it feel?
that.
Were you?
Yeah, we put the baby food away, and like this is
Yeah, no more formula.
You're my son now.
Yep.
That bluegill
Or daughter.
really liked you.
Or daughter.
Yeah, yeah. I can
Um,
never tell.
You could
the
put it in my
fish.
pond.
Well,
Yeah, cross the streams
All-
with the
all-
perch and the koi.
Yeah, all the fish that latch on.
You probably got some mutt kois anyway.
Oh, yeah,
half
dude.
koi,
They're
half.
they're half
you-
koi.
those aren't full breed kois.
No.
Okay, you're not getting
And I
a
love
rescue
'em
koi
just
that's
the
full
same-
breed.
and I love
No
'em
way
just-
you're getting it for that price.
and I love them just the same.
you love them just the same.
I doubt anybody gets a full breed with a rescue. Okay, so
Whenever-
if you're rescuing, whether it's a dog or koi, you're not getting a full breed.
Whenever Sterling introduces the koi to his family, he's like, "This is my adopted koi fish." He doesn't say actual
Yeah.
biological koi
No,
fish. We
no.
adopted him.
That makes
I
total
took 'em
sense. Well,
in.
they had been trying for a while,
Yes.
and so they went that route. And how many do you have now?
About 15.
Are they procreating?
Well, I thought
Well,
that
they might,
They
right?
might be because at first I had about 4, and then like 2 days
Then
later,
yes.
Well,
I had
unless
about
I was going to say
15.
unless they walked there,
Well,
unless they called their
no,
friends
I threw a party
and they
fish in your
took an
pond.
They're having
Uber
their
to your
own,
pond.
like,
or
night
Roy
party.
the koi guy delivered more for me.
Roy the koi guy.
Yeah, my koi guy.
Roy the koi boy. You know?
He wouldn't tell
Did
you.
he just randomly drop out, like he's trying to get rid of koi, so he just like dumps them into your
Well,
pond?
he wouldn't tell him if they were pure breeds or not. He's being pretty coy about it.
Oh my god.
All I know is I'm a great father to these koi, and
Have you ever had them latch on your nipple?
I've not tried. I wouldn't do that
Okay,
to them. I wouldn't put
Do you
them
take
through
him out
that.
for walks?
So I guess you're not that.
Well, I
creative.
put them in a fish bowl and then I walk them. Yeah,
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you
A
read
leash
to 'em
around
at
the
night?
top.
You read to them at night so they start to understand like
I leave the
words.
night light on
Redfish,
for
bluefish.
I do leave. Well, redfish just taste good, so I wouldn't have any of those. I do leave the lights on for them. I put lights in the pond so
That's
that way
nice.
they can have a night light so they don't get scared.
Mm-hmm.
But then it can also affect their sleep too.
Yeah.
Do you,
No.
what time is nap time?
During the day.
10 to
About
2.
now, there's a
10 to 2. You keep the radio on for them, and at about 10 o'clock, it's nap time. At 2 o'clock, they're like, all right, let's get ready to go. Let's rock out here.
Do koi have eyelids? Probably not.
I've not checked.
Okay.
I don't know how I check. Well, computer.
Just sit there and look at them.
Just take one
I
out and
look
see
hold
if they
it.
blink.
Do koi
I don't
have?
think they do. I don't think fish.
How I mean,
Eyelids,
let me
do
tell
they?
you this.
Eye.
I've got 2 kids. I know if they have eyelids, and that's because I'm a good dad.
No, they don't.
I'm a good dad because I know if my kids
They
have eyelids.
sleep with their
You're a
eyes
terrible,
wide
terrible
open.
koi dad.
But at some point, you had to Google to see if your kids had eyelids.
That's right.
Yes.
Yes, I had to Google what is an eyelid, and
All I know
found
is
out
that-
they in fact did have that 4 of them. In fact, between the 2.
It's good.
All I know is we found out that I'm a great, caring father
Props
for
to you.
these.
You didn't even know if they had. You didn't even know if they slept with their eyes open. You just thought they never slept. These guys are
You don't know who their
24/7.
mom is.
Yeah, that's
no,
true.
and I don't care. They left them. They left these poor, destitute fish crying poor and destitute.
Those
They
fish
were-
are going to show up at some
They-
random lady's house one day. Mom, like I feel like I would have known if this took place. Like, I don't think the roles can be reversed here. And the knock on the door of 20 years later, like, oh hey, you're my mom.
You saw them on the sidewalk with like a cloak on, and they had a cardboard sign that said, "Anything helps." Right?
Yeah.
Yes. God bless.
Yeah.
And you saved them from that.
And I saved them, and I was shocked that they could write because they haven't gone to school.
And they don't have fingers or hands.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or eyelids.
Yeah, they were just out there fishing for compliments.
We can be done now.
What's up?
We can be done now.
Okay. Now, if you were to pick them all up and then take them to your pond, would that be fish in a barrel?
Or they going to school.
Yes. It's right there the whole time.
This is all gold fish.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. I think you were trying too hard on that one. I think that was.
Oh, I was.
It was a step.
I was.
That was-
Okay.
everything we did was natural. That was
was,
organic.
yes.
Just came up in regular conversation. I'm not sure what you were doing.
Speaking of organic, I'm giving them organic food because I care. They deserve the best.
Fresh,
After the
fresh pet.
after the rough life, after the rough life.
Isn't that the commercial where they like if somebody disses your dog or the food that you just like kick them out on the first date, or
Yeah.
they killed somebody in Fresh Pet commercial, I think, right? Yeah, they had the mob Fresh Pet commercial and they put them in the trunk.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay.
Apparently, you got to be a jerk to somebody if they question the dog food.
Okay. So this is a real thing that if somebody shows up to the house like on a first date or whatever, or I guess
She's
they're
like,
going inside on a
yes,
first
she
date.
looks
Good
like,
for
wait,
you.
your dog food's in the freezer or in the fridge? Yeah, it's Fresh Pet. She goes, it's a dog. Next scene,
Oh,
he
my
shuts the
gosh.
door in her face and she's gone.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then he sits and eats
Yeah.
the pasta he was making for her with the dog.
Yes.
She's like, I didn't like her anyway.
Hold on, you're feeding them steak? Yeah, it's koi fish. The hell out. The hell out.
That'd be the next
Hold on,
Fresh
you're
Pet
feeding them
commercial.
fish? They're
Cannibalism.
koi fish.
Yeah.
You don't feed a cow, a beef, do you?
He'd eat it.
What
Maybe
if you did,
not.
though?
No, I guess they're
What if you did, though? What if you just fed? That would be weird.
they're herbivores.
Yeah, that'd be weird for
Yeah,
them.
they
to
probably
eat.
wouldn't eat
They
that.
wouldn't know. Yeah.
I mean, would they know, though?
Hmm.
Do they know where it's from? Do you know where it's from? You wouldn't know either. You have no idea. All right, let's.
How do we get here?
How do you
Great.
eject from the koi fish segment?
How do we get here? Said my koi fish.
Oh, his nipples.
Swimsuit. My swimsuit.
Mixed nipples.
Oh, yeah,
like, where you
mixed
going?
mixed
Eventually
nipples,
got there. Yeah. That got us to this place. Mm-hmm.
Thanks,
And
Mick.
You're welcome.
It's a lot of turns.
Honestly, I would have this conversation many times with
I
you.
believe that.
Yeah,
I believe that.
Honestly, the lake part, that's never happened to me. So I just don't go to enough lakes. That's
I bet you're not a guy that gets in lakes. Are
No,
you?
I don't. I do not get
You
in
don't
lakes.
get in pools.
That's also true. People pee in pools, and then
People pee in lakes.
I know exactly.
Yes. You want to know what the fish do in lakes? Wow.
What?
Nothing. You're good.
Is
Nothing
something
there.
with your nipples?
They're really clean. Really clean.
I really only get in lakes after I've had a few beverages.
Oh, you don't even like to get in lakes, huh?
Well, I get in, but I need a few. I like to do things, and well,
All right, let's. What?
I like
What?
the activities,
Okay.
Okay.
So you
in
like to
lakes.
ski or boat
or like
or
jump off
tube,
stuff. I like to jump
Sure.
off things.
Yeah.
cliff
There's-
diving.
Yes, I like to jump off things.
Yeah,
There's
that's
Have
fun.
you thought about like auditioning for Jackass? Your life,
I'd thrive,
you do things
dude.
just for the fun of doing things.
I injure myself. I put myself in precarious situations probably too often. For the fun of it, for the hell of it.
You don't like getting in lakes. I think you need to be more adventurous for the hell of it.
It's so
To be on Jackass.
for the- I'm so mad about that, dude. All right, I don't know how to get to break besides just throwing it. This like
This was a pretty crappy segment.
Wrapping up this hour on the other side, we will talk a little Royals ZOUs. They're heading into the final 3 games before the All-Star break. So finally, JJ and company can look and assess where they are to see if they have a chance to make the playoffs this year. Been waiting for the All-Star break. Not there yet. 3 more games.
MLB playoffs?
Yes. So they're not 3 more games. If they go out there and let's say they win, I don't know, maybe 3, at that point you do have to really assess of whether or not you're getting ready to hit a hot
At
streak.
that point, you might not have the worst record in baseball.
Yeah, they have the third best. They're the third best of worst teams. So there are 2 teams that are bester than they
Angels
are at
and
being
Rockies.
worser than they are. That's right. Correct. All right, hanging out on a Friday edition of The Zone. One more hour for the week of shows, heading up until 2 o'clock. An hour from now, it'll be Spain and Belgium. I thought it was going to be the Spain and U.S. matchup, but it's Spain and Belgium.
Is that
I
how
have
Belgian
nothing
people
against
sound, or-
Belgium. They played great. They beat my country, but they played great.
Mm-hmm.
And I did think they had a very funny post afterward.
Oh, I didn't see the post afterward.
They said rescind this. 4-1. Rescind this.
That's pretty good.
What
And
if
then
what if FIFA said, you know what, bleep you, we are.
They did the Trump
Oh,
dance
Lukaku did that.
in
Lukaku
the
did that.
locker room. They were all doing it.
Well, after
the
Lukaku
goal.
scored,
I was like, I think that's a Trump dance, right?
he ran over and he was doing like the mouth signal with his hands, like keep talking, and then did the Trump. I think it was actually
So yeah,
directed right at Sterling when he was like, keep talking,
Yeah,
keep talking.
I think so.
Caw-caw,
Hey, what I do?
I think you did the Trump. It's the Sterling dance first,
Caw-caw.
right? Yeah.
caw-caw, caw-caw. That's where he probably.
They are kind of
Spain's
cool.
got to be the big favorites in that one, right?
They are pretty heavy
Spania.
favorites in that one. Yes,
They do have good waffles though, and chocolate.
You said you're not having any more
boycotting.
Belgian waffles. That's what you said.
I don't know if
That's what
I
you
mean,
said.
unless
I think it's
Eggo
waffles.
and like the great value brand is Belgium. I don't know if I ever eat Belgian waffles.
What makes a waffle Belgian?
Yeah, does it have to come from there?
Yeah,
Is it like
sort of like
bourbon?
we both went the same.
It's like
It comes from Belgian County, Belgium.
Yes, it
like
has to
champagne.
specifically be from there.
They grow the waffles in oaken barrels.
It's brandy. Has to be specifically from a city.
Oh, they're traditionally leavened with yeast or whipped egg whites rather than the denser baking powder-based batter
Yeah.
used for standard.
I thought the egg whites stood out. That's I could taste it, so that makes total sense.
Isn't that healthy? Egg white, that's healthy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Belgian, good for Belgium.
A lot of
Isn't that the joke in Austin Powers, like 3? Cigar and a waffle,
Crepe and
long
a
and
pancake?
events, crepe and a pancake? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that about
Or not
Belgians?
crepe and a pancake. That would be
Yeah.
cigar and a crepe or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, yeah.
By the way, the home run derby.
Crepe and a smoke.
The home run derby gets here on Monday with Jack Caglione participating.
Is it filled yet?
I think Harper and Schwarber are in now, along with the Caminero, the American League Caminero, Cags, Abreu, Ben Rice.
So wait, 2 more national and 1 more American?
No, because we've got Wilyer Abreu, because it's 8, right?
Oh, I didn't
I
know
think it's
about
8.
Abreu.
So Wilyer Abreu, Ben Rice, Cags, and Caminero. And then what I've seen is Schwarber and Harper, I think. And Harper had a great idea. And he said, when you get to the bonus round,
Yeah.
you should be allowed to use metal bats.
With the gold balls, that'd be awesome.
Yes.
They would leave the stadium.
Yes. And they would have to take every kid off the field.
I mean, the pitcher will have a net there, right? Yeah, take
Yeah.
the kids off the field.
Take the kids
I
off
would
the field.
love. You
Add
might
2
need
nets.
to take the fans out of the stands. I just want to see how far these guys
Just
can
have,
hit.
they would
with
lift
a
up
bat.
extra nets in front of the stands, like a rolling
I
roof.
don't
and stuff.
know. The only drawback to that rule, some guys would never stop hitting home runs. I mean, they would go 5 minutes. with them.
Pop-ups. would
Yes.
be- but
Front
I just want to
foot.
see how far it goes.
Me too.
No, I think they would, because then some might swing too hard.
Yeah, there'd be part
Well,
of that.
yeah, that's home run derby. There's a lot of that going on. But speaking of the home run derby, the high school home run derby is going on right now.
Hike school.
Yes, and Grant Westfall from Blue Valley, he is participating in the high school home run derby that is currently going on in Philadelphia. So he is
Grant?
actually
Grant or Grady? Is it Grant?
it's Grant, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's Grant.
Yeah, it's Grant. I wrote
Yeah,
Grant.
I was going to say
that's on me.
I don't. Is his brother Grady?
I don't think so. I think I just messed that up.
You're fine. So yeah, he is. He's the next one up. So we'll see what happens with that. But rooting for him if we can get. What would it be, back to back, or was it 2 years ago? Bo
no,
was there
last year. Bo Peterson won. So Grant, I assume, is going into his senior year of high
He
school.
is. Yep.
Like
Yep.
Bo
He's
did
a
last year, and he
class
won
of
it.
27.
And so that was really cool watching it last year. Hey, what a concept! Why? You get the All-Star game in your stadium, and you actually have somebody from your team in it.
Yeah, if you're into that whole thing, you know.
Remember that Robinson Cano?
Yeah, Robbie Cano, don't you know?
Robbie Zero.
Yep, that's right. It's the one thing that I really, really like Chris Berman, but he and I definitely disagreed on how upsetting it was when Robinson Cano got booed by the Royals fans there. So
Was he also conducting the half-hour-long polar bear interview when Salvador Perez was hitting homers?
I don't think so. I don't think he was doing that. But Grant Westphal is up
Wasn't it
right
Pete
now, so-
Alonso?
Yeah, it was absolutely Pete Alonso. It was 100% Pete Alonso. I just wonder who they're going to interview this year while Cags is hitting.
By the way,
although this is a year that you would want to be watching Cags.
is Robinson Cano a Hall of Famer?
I feel like no, but I don't dived into the stats.
It's really close. He's an
Is it?
interesting one, but he got popped for was he get popped for like PEDs
Yeah.
or something?
It's not- yeah.
I don't know if it's PEDs specifically, but it was something at the very tail end of his
Yeah.
career, which is gonna make it.
Do we think Barry Bonds
It
is
was
a Hall of
P-
Famer?
PEDs. 20.
Is that where we're going to spend our next 50 minutes?
I just
Well, no,
want to know if we think Pete Rose should be in. or
Robinson
not.
Cano has 2,600 hits,
Is it that slow of a day?
335 home runs,
Well, we talked about your nipples
Yeah.
for a while, so I think
Yeah.
it is getting there.
What's WAR? Is it way up there? And
68.7 for second base, which is
Okay.
pretty
It's up there.
good. I didn't realize that he might be a Hall of Famer.
Okay, there you
Crazy.
Was he ever MVP or anything like that? Batting
He
champ?
finished
anything
like
that?
top 3, I think, in MVP voting a couple of different years.
World Series 2-time Gold Glove, 8-time All-Star, 5-time Silver Slugger, MVP runner or third one, sixth ones, fourth ones, fifth ones, fifth ones. Yeah, never won it.
I'm going to land on just outside. I'm going to land on no, but
Hall
Close.
of Very Good.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot though for a second baseman, man.
Are they using?
We need Salvi to continue the stretch he's in the last week for the next 3 years.
Yes, that'd be awesome
help.
if he did that.
He would definitely be in.
All right. So speaking of Salvi, he was part of our ZOUs.
That's right. We're doing this.
So let's go ahead and get an update here.
You've been stalling.
Where we are. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Speaking of stalls, it was a rough one for the Royals this
You've
year
been
so far.
stuttering going up to this penalty kick.
I just that's the little stutter step penalty kick is what they're doing.
They showed somebody, this is from maybe, I don't know, 16, 20 years ago. They showed a guy get about a 20-yard run-up for the penalty kick and just blast the thing into the goal. They're
Did he
like,
make
nope. Yeah, he made it. They're like, nobody takes penalty kicks like this anymore.
God, I want to see that. More of that. Mbappe did a little bit of the stutter yesterday.
And he lost.
I know, he
Bad.
missed
The guy
it.
caught it.
Yeah. And then he was mad at the ref because there was a delay and everything.
I was
which is-
going nuts. They kept asking Rebecca Lowe. All the announcers
Should
kept
that have
asking.
taken that long?
Did that affect him waiting that long? I'm like, the goalie had to wait that long too. Why are we
Nope.
asking that question?
It's different. It's different. The goalie, it's
Makes him better, I
Yeah.
guess.
I guess.
Well, yeah, it's easy. It makes it better on the goalie to think about, oh, maybe the greatest player in the world is about to take a PK on me.
So I mean,
Let
is
me
he?
think about this longer.
Yeah, hold on. Does he go right? Does he go
Yeah.
left? Does he go right? I would go right down the middle every time. I just kick it right down the
Blast it.
middle. Right down the middle.
Well, after
every
you do that
time.
like 5 times in a row, they're going to have a book on you. The advanced scouting.
But then it would be like, okay, so now is he going to switch up? No, he's definitely not going to go right down the middle this time again.
Yeah, it's like the pitcher who's thrown 6 straight sliders. Sure enough, he's got to come off that, right?
There's no way he's going to do that. It's going to keep coming. It's got to go black eventually. It's been red the whole time. It's red all 8 in a row, like Sterling said. If you get up there and there's like 5 or 6 of one color in the row, you just keep betting on the other color until it hits and keep doubling up catch up. That's what
I
you
don't
do.
get how that doesn't work. I still will never. My mind does. I'll just literally just double until it hits. And I'm like, oh, cool, got it, 1.
Great. Now I'm back to 0.
Yeah, then you do it again, and then you win 1, and then you leave.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
All right, so let's go to the ZOUs here. We start on the pitching side, and so our first one was Cole Reagans. Wins.
Who?
We set it at 11.5.
The committee did.
Well, it made it easier for you, I guess.
That's right, yeah.
We set it at 11.5 for Cole Reagans.
I think I went under.
And it was one of those set it and forget it. Cole Reagans, 11.5 wins. He is pacing for less than that.
Did he get 2, 3? What did he get?
I actually didn't even look up how many wins he got. I just, everything else I've got like pacing and stuff like that, but it doesn't matter. Let's see. I went over.
He had 11.5 starts, right? We went over that.
No,
He had
no,
one
no,
win.
no, no.
Did he not
Did
have
he have
that
one
many-
win?
1 win at 8 starts.
Yeah, he didn't even have 11.
He even have 1.5 wins. He still went under that. 11.5 wins. I went over. Mick went under. Michael went under. For whatever reason, Sterling went over too.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No chance.
You went over, dude.
I went
Tony.
under because I said he's going to have 11.
You went over, man. I promise you. We can go check tape.
I almost believe.
Is this how you're so confident all the time? You just misremember the past?
Yes.
Unlike Factor
seriously?
Fiction, unlike Factor Fiction, we check these.
Yes. Okay. So then Noah Cameron, ERA, we set it at 3.75. I went under. He's at 4.77. So he's only a run away.
He's pacing for, I believe, my master at 4.77.
Give or take like a 0.00001.
Yeah.
Mick went over. Michael went over. And Sterling, you did go over on that one too. So you all three got the point on that one. That's
Well, not for sure. I mean, you could go on a run.
One more question. What was that one? Huh?
Noah Cameron, ERA 3.75.
Oh, yeah, over.
You went over. I went under.
Of course.
On that one.
That one I do remember going over on.
Bubich, 20 and a half starts this year.
I went
Bubich
under.
makes 20 and a half starts. 3 people got the point on this one. Mick went under. Michael went under. I went under. Sterling went over. Sterling went over on Bubich.
You
20
are
and a half
lying to me
starts.
right now.
Sterling went over on 20 and a half starts.
Did
for
I
Chris
really?
Bubich, yes.
Contract year.
Oh, I see. He was going to have 21.
Contract year, 21 starts. He's going to stay healthy. He doesn't have to be out there for the whole season, just 21 starts.
I don't remember that. I think you're lying to me.
Okay, sure.
Wait, did we say starts or appearances?
We definitely said starts because he was a starter.
By
But,
the
I
way-
mean, if he comes back and starts, how many did he start this year?
9.
I mean, he only needs 12 more. So, I mean, if he comes back and starts 12 games, if he comes back. All right, so the next one.
Update, by the way, Grant
Yes.
Westphal hit 8 home runs, and they interviewed him afterward.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Nice. So he is currently, I guess that would put him in second place.
Oh, somebody's hit more?
Yeah, the leadoff guy, big old thick kid, hit 12 of them.
No relation to James Westphal from Anchorman.
What? That's too bad.
Is that Mantooth?
Nope, that's
Nope.
a different character in that movie.
Oh.
Yeah. No,
Very different.
That's played by his left testicle. Let's go. We go
So we just said it, okay.
to also his fraternity brother.
Yes, real person.
Mm-hmm. Let's go to bullpen total saves. We put the bullpen total saves.
Could be a relative, actually. He went to KU.
Yeah.
Okay, what if that's his dad?
What if it is?
That's
Who
crazy.
knows? I don't know. Let's see. Bullpen total saves. We set it at 44.5, right around where they were a year ago. They are pacing for 39, which means that the point goes to what they're pacing for.
Yeah.
I had the under.
Oh.
Mick had the under.
Yeah.
Sterling and Michael had the over.
Why
On
am I
saves.
so dumb?
You've been pretty dumb so far. On
I've
this.
been keeping track of my hand, how many points I got, but I could probably just keep track of like how many questions.
You're 4
there
for
are.
4
Yeah,
right now.
okay.
If you're wondering.
Why am I an idiot?
Will the Royals have a complete game?
Yes, I said yes, and that happened. Don't lie to me.
Sterling
No
went
gaslighting
yes.
me.
Sterling went yes. I went yes. Michael went yes. Mick said no.
Dang it!
Kolek does have a complete game already.
You dumb
And that's when you-
I
bastard.
ruined my perfect
and
game.
that's one you can't get. So that's a point that's already decided because they have the perfect game.
What he almost said. Did he almost have a second one this year?
I think so. There's always
I don't
been
know.
2.
Wouldn't matter.
Because he had one last year. It wouldn't matter.
We head over to the offensive side. This is
That'd be offensive.
yeah, yeah. So Bobby Witt, home runs, stolen bases. We set it at 70.5. He is pacing for 74.
Thanks to the stolen bases.
I'm the only one that had the over on that one.
It's amazing.
So
He's had a lot of stolen bases then
yeah,
for him to be.
he has.
He's got 13 homers.
But the knee,
Yep.
so maybe he'll steal less in the second half.
yeah,
I'm cheering to lose one.
I know, right? I would like to be right on that one because that would mean that Bobby is.
I would
having
too, by the way.
better.
You said he's pacing for over, right?
He's pacing for 74, so it's right there. It's
Okay.
pretty close.
But you get the point for now.
For now, yep. Salvi extra base hits. We set it at 66.5. He's pacing for 41. I'm the only one that went over on that one. I was the only one that went over on Witt and the only one that went over on Salvi. So we all just split the
Split 'em.
points.
Split 'em.
We all ended up with 1 on that one. Carter Jensen on base percentage. We set it at 350. He is pacing for 312, which means he's at 312. 3 of us went under. Only one of us went over for Carter Jensen's on-base percentage, and that over was Sterling.
I am such
so
an
positive.
izzy. I'm an idiot.
So positive.
Going back through this, I was surprised at how many. I'm like, what is Sterling
Could be a
doing?
race between these two.
What is going on?
Dude, when did I become the dumbest person in the world?
1995.
When were you born?
I think.
Yeah, so I had 1 year of not being the guy. When I was born in '94, I had
You had
1 year.
good 12 months.
Yeah, they're like, wow, what a smart baby. And then year one hitting like this.
There was
dumbass.
Well, there was the biggest idiot in Bangladesh who died in '95. So you guys overlapped for 1 year. That guy was an idiot.
But you then took the baton from that one. Next one, Jack Caglione home runs. We set it at 29.5. He's pacing for 24. I am the only one that went over on that one. You all went under, so you all get the point for now. He's pacing for 24, although that pace has certainly picked up in June. But since that crazy run, he has been in a slump. So
I feel like you're gaslighting me. There's no
You
way
went
I had
under on
all-
that one.
No, but some of the other ones, there's no way.
why would I randomly then say, oh, no, you're right on this one? You're
Past Sterling is gaslighting current Sterling.
Yes.
Of course I gaslight myself. Are you serious?
Michael Garcia, batting average. We set it at 290.
I went under for this for sure.
When's he coming back, by the way? Do we know?
I don't know.
Okay.
We set it at 290. 3 of us went under. Michael went over.
Oh, man.
I even said I thought it went over.
When did
Michael went over.
become an idiot?
See, look, Michael's like, yep, I did that. Well,
I
Sterling's
did that.
going,
It's
no
on
way
me.
I did that.
It's on me.
No
I was
way.
optimistic.
Here's the baton, pal.
No way I did that.
Scoreboard, pal.
There's no way I would have done that. Michael, yeah, I did
That's how
that.
you sound.
I know
That's
it is.
exactly how
I'm not wrong, you're wrong. Because I'm saying it louder.
Don't write in the papers. I was wrong. Please don't put that in the papers.
Vinny RBIs. 110.5. He's pacing for 55.
Yeah, I went way under.
And that pace gets lower every day. Sterling went over. No,
He'll be back today, maybe.
No, I went over. Everybody else went under. Sterling, you went under.
Okay, now I'm on a heater.
Mick, you went under. Yeah, Sterling, that's 3 in a row for
I've
you.
got 9, by the way.
I
so
don't
far.
keep- I can't
I could
count
shut
that
her
high.
down, I think.
Who leads the Royals in home runs this year?
Oh, I think I would said Salvi.
Cags is leading with 14 right now.
Bobby at 13.
I had Bobby. Sterling had Salvi. You two had Vinny.
Oops.
So that is really Sterling and I are really the only ones that have a chance with that
Yeah.
one. Bobby or Salvi to surpass Cags. Salvi has 11. Bobby and Carter have 13. Cags has 14. So it's still
Vinny
It's anyone's game.
Vinny's at 6. So he's roughly 8 off the pace. When he were to return, he may not still be 8 off the pace, but then he would have
Big
to
month
catch.
of August, man. A big month.
Yes. Cy Young or MVP, anybody for the Royals finishes in the top 2. Currently, Bobby is the 3rd betting favorite, so nobody got a point, but we all said yes. We all said that. We all said Bobby would finish top 2 of
think
the
he
MVP.
still will.
Yeah, I mean that was
It's
coming
not
off.
going to hurt when the team wins
I know
60 games, but
it was coming off the World Baseball Classic, and so we're like, yeah, this is the start of an MVP run. Total Gold Gloves, we set it at 2.5. We all went under on total Gold Gloves
What
on
are
the
they
team.
pacing
at
towards?
under, 1 probably. Bobby because Michael in and out. I don't think Lugo or Waka's going to get
gonna
one.
Massey's probably going to play enough to
No,
qualify.
no. Isbell's out. I don't think they're going to give one to Collins in left field. I'm joking. So there you go. All right, and then we had one more. Team wins. We set it at 86.5. And
my 10th point.
you 3 went under. I went
feel like with your
over.
guesses, you had them winning 170 to 180 games.
I had them
Is that
winning
right?
90. Sterling had them winning 86, which is still under. And you two had them winning 85, which is still under.
Still a bad guess.
But still under. You don't have to be really right. You just have to be right.
Okay, I kind of went on a little heater though
You
towards
did.
the end.
You got a heater to catch up. I got cold. You got hot.
What's total?
Right now, out of the 15 total categories, Mick has 11.
At least.
Michael has 10. Sterling has 7.
Listen, I hope I'm wrong.
And I have 7.
Oh,
Sterling and I are tied. So that's why I said when I started the show, I said the ZOU updates. I said it was as bad as I thought it was, but not as bad as I thought it was.
F word.
If you tie with him for last place, Sterling, we might have a chance of getting lunch because he's got initiative.
Because he would pay up.
Jason would pay up.
The one
I
that
pay up eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Are you one?
I have
or just
once.
two. Just no. I
Or
mean,
twice.
are we waiting on you for
Yeah,
one?
I still have one more.
so
The 2018.
yeah.
Sporting KC.
The saves for Sterling would be big because they're
would be
pacing for 39.
huge.
You need him to get to 45. That would flip us. That would give you a point and take a point away from me. Cag's home runs would be big for me if he gets to
Salvies
30.
would be big for me.
Salvi's home runs? Yeah, Salvi's would be big for you. But Cag's, that's everybody else went under. I'm the only one that went over. So that would be big. You need Carter to start getting on base.
Carter,
A lot.
Carter, if you're listening, get on base. A
You
lot.
need Carter to stop getting on base. You need Witt to stop
Sorry, I
hitting
believe in
home
you,
runs
Carter.
and stealing bases. You would need that to happen, Sterling. So those are the main ones. Or Bubic to come back and start.
I know it's possible,
Again.
but I would love to lose, which means the Royals just go on an
Yeah.
unbelievable heater.
But
And
you know
all
what?
these guys do.
Here's the thing. You can still win. They can go on a heater, and Salvi can end up with 65 extra base hits.
Yeah.
And
They could
Carter can end
still
up at
win.
349
Okay.
on base percentage.
So that would be
Cags
a
can end up with
win-win.
29
Yeah.
home runs. Garcia can bat 289. Vinny can finish with 109 RBIs.
No, give Vinny 129, give Cags 59. Let's go.
The Royals could still
that
win
would make
106
it
games.
that would make it 9-9 with me and you.
That's fine. I'll lose. That's what I'm saying.
I
I
see what
will
you're saying.
lose
That's
the
nice of
whole
you.
thing.
Your Lord
If it
Jess
means
knows no bounds.
The Royals win. What would it have to be? I don't know, 50 games in the second half.
If the Royals play 900 ball the rest
Yes.
of the way, like
they might have a shot.
that would be awesome.
No, they could still win 106 games this season.
That's how many games are
They,
left.
I mean,
No, that's if they
No, I mean,
win
yeah,
out, if they win
possibly,
out.
yeah.
Yeah.
so that's what they are doing.
So let's be realistic. They could still win about 100 probably.
Yeah, glad we're being realistic.
Yeah, you're not going to go 106-0. That's dumb.
That's silly.
You're going to have some
Not
losses
106.
along.
They could
No,
lose
but-
5.
Yeah, like 101-5.
Well, they don't have 106 games left. I'm saying because they've had 56 losses.
Oh,
Quick
my bad.
math put me.
My
If you
bad.
think they have 106 games left, then the season's very young.
I know, right? If they had 106 games left, we'd still be Q would still be saying, "Look, it's only early June." We'd still be hearing about it's only this.
It's only the early part of late September, okay?
Can we just wait till it gets to like past Father's Day before we overreact? It's not even the All-Star game yet. How are we going to say that this team is out of it?
It's not
when-
even Thanksgiving yet, guys.
Oh, my
that
goodness,
season's
guys.
over.
Come on, man. It's ridiculous. All right, so there you go. There's the update. Mick with 11, Michael with 10, Sterling and I with 7. I knew it would be bad, but I did not. I thought it'd be worse in how far away I
At
was
least you
from
got
paying.
company. That's what misery
I know
loves.
that's what I'm surprised by. I thought it was going to be I'm so bad and I'm going to start saving already for lunch because there's no way I'm going to be.
You
able to come
guys,
back
and
here.
this is a compliment. You guys are very positive
Yeah.
going into seasons, and
Yeah.
I am
Realistic.
right?
Sorry to jump ahead of the dismount.
Sorry, I care.
That's
Believe
better.
in something, man.
Can you say it again and I'll just I'll sit this one
Try
out.
to get
Yep,
ready.
yep, 3,
hit,
2,
hit that button.
and 1.
You guys are very positive, okay, when it comes to these seasons going into them.
Yeah.
I am right.
You know, speaking of being right, you don't technically have to be right on Kalshi when you are trading every match in the biggest soccer tournament as it's going on right now. And what I mean by that is Spain and Belgium are getting ready to start at 2 o'clock. Belgium is trading at 28% to advance. So that means, you know, a $10 bet would bring back roughly $34. A $100 bet, do the math, would bring back roughly $340. But if they're trading at 28%, maybe they come out with a goal early on. And that 28%, maybe it jumps up to 50%. You can then trade out of that position and take the profit. And if Belgium ends up losing, you didn't have to be right about them winning by putting the early money and trading in that position of them winning. You can then take the profit, and then you can go and say, you know what, I think Spain is actually going to win. And then you throw a little money on Spain to go and do that. You can find yourself playing both sides here and making money on both ends of that with Kalshi. Maybe you go the different route and you say, man, I think Belgium's going to win, and I'm going to put that money at 30% or whatever, and they give up an early goal, and you see that they're not really going to be in this. Boom, you can trade out of that one and at least salvage some of the money. You don't have to go, well, that whole thing is lost because I'm not going to be able to, quote unquote, cash out on that thing. I can trade out of that position. And that's what Kalshi allows you to do because there's no house. You're trading against peers in a live market. As the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. And for a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code JASON810, JASON810 to get $10 when you trade 10. It's JASON810 on Kalshi, Kalshi. Kalshi, trade the beautiful game.
18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
assuming you put some more in there as well. Major League Baseball draft coming up tomorrow. So therefore, the Royals can then really focus on making trades. I was looking at this, and I always find it interesting. We're in the era of where guys we watched when we were growing up or just simply watching sports, and their kids are now, getting into baseball, obviously with Matt Holliday and his entire family and grandkids apparently that are all drafted in Major League Baseball. But some of the top names in Major League Baseball's draft tomorrow of names Landon Thome, or Tomey, whatever. Jim Tomey's son, expected to be drafted tomorrow. Joseph Contreras, be Jose Contreras' son.
You just added a PH to that.
Yep. Peyton Bonds, which is
wow.
Barry's nephew.
It's his nephew?
Yep. Bobby Bonds is his father.
You guys said that.
Yeah.
There you go. Yep. Bobby Bonds' father.
Jason Giambi's
Bobby
nephew,
Bonds Jr.
Jeremy
Bobby
Giambi.
Bonds Jr.
Bobby Bonds'
yeah, Bobby
dad
Bonds
and
Jr.
his,
Yeah, Bobby Bonds is his grandfather. Bobby Bonds Jr. So Barry's nephew, Peyton Bonds.
Bobby was older than Barry, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I bet he'll be very good.
Karsten.
He's going to hit Bonds.
Karsten
out of the ballpark.
More South
Sabathia.
Oh.
Named after Karsten Charles Sabathia, or CC Sabathia. Karsten Sabathia is actually a first baseman, not a pitcher.
He's not small.
No, I don't think he is. I think he's big. You would like this one, Sterling.
Okay.
Luke Pettit, Andy Pettit's son, future Hall of Famer.
Overrated. If he's a Hall of Famer, then Mark Burley's a Hall of Famer.
Put both in. I'm fine with that.
No, they're fine. But if Pettit gets in, Mark Burley gets in.
But here's the deal. What Mark Burley didn't do, play in New York.
Yeah, that's
right.
My whole point.
Did Mark Burley ever play with Jeter? Or Benny?
The worst defensive shortstop of a generation.
I feel like if you look at Jorge Posada's stats, you'll notice that he played in New York.
His
you
stats,
really dive in.
Yeah, you will see
Sorry,
that.
I'm kind of a seam head on this. I'm not really into the numbers and analytics. But if you dive in, you'll notice that his best attribute was how good he was at playing in New York.
Yeah, a lot of times
and wearing pinstripes.
Every year he showed up in New York.
Yeah, that's true. When you look at baseball reference pages, they have the bold letters or bold numbers and things like that you let in. He's got a lot of pinstriped numbers that are there, which it sticks out more, really, if you think about it. Some of the other notable names, it's going to be a top 5 pick tomorrow. Jacob Lombard, which is George Lombard's brother,
sister.
I don't know. You need those
for the
TP reports.
Yankees. Hell, Lombard got drafted.
Hey Mick, what would you do if you had $1 million?
Carson Wiggins, Andrew Wiggins' son. I'm joking.
Buy a bunch of koi fish.
It's not true. It's a different.
I could afford like 7.
Different fella. How about this family? Jackson Willits. He's the brother of the number 1 overall pick in the 2025 Major League Baseball draft of Eli Willits. Yeah. That's pretty good back-to-back years with great kids.
The postseason.
Good night, man. Parker Detmers, Reed's little brother. Aiden Teal, Kyle Teal's little brother. That's going to be these freaking families, man. It is unbelievable.
Wow.
And then you've got one other one that I saw that stood out to me.
Lonzo Ball.
Cody Goff.
Cameron Boozer.
Cody Goff, Coco's brother. Coco Goff's
really?
brother.
That's cool.
Is going to be from ESB Academy in Florida. So Coco Goff's brother will be drafted this week. That one stood out to me. Just a different sport, but yeah, there you go. We'll be seeing some names that are like, oh my God, here we go, like Matt Holliday's son, and 2 of them. And then it's like, really, Landon
I went
Tomey?
to baseball camp with Matt
Andy
and
Pettit's?
Josh Holliday. Josh and I are the same age.
I smoked weed with Johnny Hopkins.
No, you don't know anybody named Josh Holliday. It's me, Josh Holliday, and Sloan Kettering.
Sloan Kettering.
Josh and I are the same age. We were in 6th grade. We were on the same team at the camp. You doing all different stuff, but there's team each day. And he was the best hitter on the team.
Which one was it? Who was this one?
Josh. And then the second best hitter on the team, can't remember. It might have been me, might have been others, but A couple days in, it was no longer anybody but Josh Holiday, who was a fourth grader who they brought up to our team. Like, oh yeah, no, he's better than us too.
Yes, that's like this morning they were having.
Josh and Matt were,
Yeah, they were having a conversation this morning with Grunny, and Grunny was joking or lamenting or being serious. I'm not sure about 2 days ago being bumped in his segment or hour with Seren. In the middle of his hour with Seren, Taylor Twellman sat down to talk soccer, and that was live, and so Grunny had to be bumped for that segment. And then we came back, we rebuilt the studio. It's fine. It's no big deal. The holes were patched up. It's all good in the hood. But then he talked about it this morning. He was like, I don't know, they got bumped for some soccer guy. I'm not sure what it was. And it was like, I don't know, they had been trying to catch up with him. He's like, he was good. And they're like, was it Taylor Twellman? He was like, I think so. Yeah, that was it. And then Jake told the story of when he was playing in high school and travel ball that playing against Taylor Twellman. And he's like, yeah, Taylor Twellman scored on Jay. He's like, I had some I got some saves on him too. He goes, but in my defense, he was really good.
He was supposedly
so good.
Like could have done. He was a stud baseball player, stand-up basketball, stud quarterback.
Yeah. Just imagine if our best athletes played soccer like Taylor Twellman.
Yeah, that's the answer.
If you'd have taken Taylor Twellman from basketball and baseball, imagine if he'd have just played soccer.
Yeah.
It sounds like me of how I view myself, but not reality.
That's exactly it.
You look in the mirror and you see the athlete Taylor Twellman actually was.
I look in the mirror and I see he is the handles of Kyrie Irving, the shot of Steph Curry, the baseball ability of Miguel Cabrera.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No, I mean, come on.
You don't want to be
Triple Crown guy.
Yeah, you don't want to be conceited and an egomaniac.
No, you don't.
You don't want to do that because that's a Triple Crown guy, but no defense. So. That's not a quadruple crown that other guys can do. I thought that was funny. And Jake was talking about it. He's like, yeah, well, he got a goal on me. I got some saves, but in my he was really, really good.
Pretty good.
So, yeah. I mean, that's fine. I didn't play on the high school baseball team, but my buddy, still to this day, Limos that owns Midwest Barbary, still to this day lives off of it. It's on his business card. Robbed a double from Albert Pujols in the Gap. Diving catch in the Gap when we played. Albert Pujols. That was Albert Pujols, but we didn't know it was going to be Albert Pujols.
No,
it was just
had any idea.
Yeah, we're like, who's this? Like, hey, there's this 25-year-old in high school. Like, what's he doing
Whose
here?
dad is this?
Yeah, that's odd. This guy's got a family of 4 that's watching him, and he's going to work as a mechanic after the game is over. This is odd, but here he is hitting a baseball 5,000 feet with an aluminum bat, which they should do in home run derbies. So there you go. We'll see what happens with all of those things. So I had the question, we never got into it in the first hour, with Luinder Avila starting tonight. Any chance? Probably no. But depending on what Avila does the rest of the way, quick little pick of the brain here.
Pick it.
Can Luinder Avila, over the next 2 or 3 starts in this month, could he impact what JJ and the front office do in Waka or Lugo? Could he do enough over the next 3 or 4 starts to where they go, all right, so we've been worried about next year's starting rotation. Maybe Avila's now in that group and we're not so stuck on, well, we got to have somebody start next year, when they have talked about Avila being a starter, that's how they viewed him.
It's honestly my biggest fear. Not my biggest fear, but I fear that he could do that. In that, he puts together 6 good starts in August and September, and all of a sudden, everybody's putting all their eggs in the
Mondesi basket.
Luinder basket. Okay, well, we know we can rely on Cameron and this guy, Kolick, of course.
Kolick, right? Cameron, Berger, and Avila.
Over the course of weeks. And then next year's ZOUs is going to be like Jason's, all right, the committee, all right, Avila, over-under wins, 15.5.
20.5
I can
wins.
see the future. This is all going to happen.
I think he is more of a break in case of emergency guy.
I think so, too.
I think he'll be a regular member of this rotation.
Oh, I know.
Sooner
I think
than later.
so.
Well, can he do enough then over the next 3 starts in July to where JJ would look at it and go, okay, I feel more comfortable trading Lugo.
It's a desperate team looking for any signs of life.
But I feel more comfortable trading Lugo or Waka because we got to fill out the rotation next year, and maybe this guy does it, as opposed to them saying, somebody's got to pitch next year, so I guess it's going to be Lugo and Waka.
Well, I think with Avila, you've seen some glimpses. He walks entirely too many people.
Lugo.
No, Avila. He's in the 6th percentile in walks.
Yeah,
Yes,
lately,
Mick.
lately.
I mean, you see some nice things from Avila, but the consistency is just not there.
No.
This guy goes 5 innings, pretty much. He's not going to be a guy
I
that
like his stuff. I get it, but yeah, he isn't.
But he's
put
young.
it together.
He's 24.
I
I just don't think you want to count on him being.
No.
I want him competing for a spot, not handed a spot. And by the way, Noah Cameron, with how he's pitched, maybe he's your 5th guy, not your 3rd guy. If he's your 3rd guy going into next year, you have an issue.
He's gonna be better than their 5th guy next year. I bet. That's just the
Man, that
state
would
of
be
their
rough.
staff.
Yeah.
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 It's not ideal. But again, Avila, I think, should start the rest of the year. I want to see what he has. I'd
It's
prefer
not
him.
like it's not like Cameron's imploded this year. He hasn't been what he was
No.
last year. What did he 4.2 ERA?
Well, oddly enough, like last year, his ERA was lower than the expected ERA, and it's like a little bit smoke and mirrors.
4.77 this year.
It was
Right, but
4.77.
is that expected ERA this year? Isn't it better than what the 4.77 is? So where it's like,
no, it's 4.91.
like I said, definitely worse than what it was a year ago.
You dumb
Who was it
bastard.
then? That was what was it that I was looking at? Maybe it was Lugo or something that I was looking at. Somebody else looking at that. I'm like, no, the expected ERA is actually much better than what it's been. No, who knows? I'm going to go with it being Noah Cameron because in my mind I want that to be true. That's what I want to have happen, and I'm going to wish it. I'm going to wish it into existence, just like Sterling having more koi in his pond. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back and we'll get some cuts before the show is over.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Oh no, what shall I do? The guy I bet on went out in the 60th minute. My bet's over. And FanDuel said, that's dumb. We agree. That shouldn't happen. So they changed it. They decided to add something called FanDuel Super Sub. This way, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match early, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you bet on a guy, maybe for a goal, maybe for assist, maybe for an Andor. I love doing the Andors. It's always a fun thing, a fun little thing I do on FanDuel. And the guy goes out in the 70th minute. Well, now the guy that came in for him keeps your bet alive. This way you are in it until the final whistle. I've been doing it all soccer matches long. I really, really enjoy it, and you will too. So what you need to do is go to FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel.
All right, hanging out on this Friday edition of the show, wrapping things up, handing it over to the program when we are done here. They take over at 2 o'clock, and I know that coming up on the show at some point scheduled, but it's Tahoe. You never know what's going to happen, but they're going to be talking with John Smoltz at some point. That should be fun with the broadcast when it comes to the playoffs. Kyle Hamilton of the Ravens. That's a fun one. Should be
that's
interesting.
good, dude.
Yeah, we had so much fun with Derek Carr. They're talking with Derek
He's
Carr at some
great.
point today. He's
Really like
he's
Derek
really
Carr.
good. So that's coming up later on with the program. Let's get the cuts before the show is over there. Michael.
I'm going to take my best buddy Lance's son, Will. He just finished his freshman year at Oklahoma.
Okay.
So Lance can't go.
What if you took your son's best buddy?
Yeah.
My
Would that
son's
work?
best
Yeah,
buddy?
would
I
that-
don't
is
think-
there any-
my
another-
son's
like a
friends don't
soccer
like
match.
college baseball.
But
or
like,
Oklahoma.
what I'm asking you
I'd like to get their opinion on crypto, though.
is, or the hydration break.
Random.
Crypto. That's what made it hard.
It was you.
The crypto.
Weird.
A tit for tat, quid pro quo.
Right. But first, I need questions
I
answered.
prefer tit for tit.
Well, that's another story.
Wow.
Jake.
So you just say whatever you want on the morning show?
Apparently, unclean dick.
On the midday show.
Ow! Got him in the face.
Oh, my.
Oh, that actually got him in the neck, dude. My bad. Last Friday on the show, we're throwing poppers at each other.
I forgot my rotator cuff was torn. I can't
Dude.
throw that.
Lebo.
I didn't realize it came
Lebo,
from the
they're
air.
throwing
poppers around here, Lebo.
Don't put my eye out.
All right, Lebo, I'm going to light off all of these Roman candles.
I didn't realize it
We're
came
gonna
through
go
that
out
well.
and
Did you
light
light
the
them
big
out-
deck
off
and
out there?
light these
No,
Roman
they wouldn't
candles.
let me.
Oh.
Nope, his
Did it
big
get
deck.
me?
You have rules here?
Well, he said something crazy. That was crazy what you said earlier.
Yeah, I couldn't believe
What?
that.
On you were talking
Unclean dick?
Yeah.
Are you
That
talking
is
about?
crazy.
Friendly people.
What was that, Stan? I'm not sure what that was. There,
Why is that in the
Great
cuts?
meat. Friendly people.
Because it's something that Stan was talking about. I'm not sure. Maybe it was like a restaurant at Big 12 Media Days. I don't know.
Got to the mic and was going somewhere, and then he gave that like, I'm not going to do it. No,
I want to hear it.
he got waved off.
Make a Sterling Holmes joke.
Okay.
That's always welcome,
Yeah, you can take a shot at Sterling whenever you want.
especially after that painful musical discussion I listened to about 3 weeks ago.
Oh, what was that?
Holy moly.
That's about
What
rat.
was that?
They were just, they started talking about bands, and Sterling dropped one dumb.
He got cut off. I think he said one dumb comment after another.
I was talking about the band Rat and how kick-ass they are.
Yeah, it was pretty stupid.
I want you and Danny to talk music. That'd be funny.
So my new bit is I'm just going to start doing
That's what made it
things
made it
to
hard.
really piss him off.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep being like, yeah, Pink Floyd's awesome. I love Pink. Is that who he dislikes? There's one band.
He's not a Pink Floyd fan.
I'm not either, but I'm going to pretend I love him now just so that way it makes him upset.
By the way, he
Rat
said
does kick ass though.
he said synonyms for whether it was like dirty and like Richard or something like that, and I was like, "Are you talking about?" And then that's how that came up.
Oh,
I
I see.
just want to make sure that we're on the same page.
No,
with that.
he just
we weren't
randomly
specifically talking about
talking about it.
Sterling.
It's clean.
He said synonyms. Program next.